Ni hao, ni hao, ni hao, everybody.
Say no more.
Say no more.
Well,
we know it's from China.
Say some more. Switch to English.
But I thought after last week's handbrake, I thought it was good to come
Cut
out
the
with,
brakes.
with a clean one that everyone would go.
Speed into the show.
And also, it felt rude that of a country with so many people,
Exactly.
we hadn't given them a nod. I'm sure there's Chinese podcasts over there.
Of course.
Ni hao to you. Hey,
And let the record show that, as China takes control of the world over the next century, we're good guys.
yes, this podcast acknowledges.
Please smile upon us with favour.
Conversation between Hamish and I came up that made us think, Ham, we should probably do this segment again.
It's been a while since I've thought.
About the comedian James O'Loughlin. You remember him?
Yeah, and it's been a while since I've seen them.
Yeah.
Tell us someone we haven't thought of in a while.
James O'Loughlin, he was big, wasn't
Staple. ABC Staple.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's on radio. Jake, you made a funny face. What's that about?
I don't remember him.
Oh, right. I thought something happened to him. I mean, I'm sure he's still out there. I'm sure he's still doing... I think he's on ABC Radio.
he? He'd do quiz shows and kind of Tonight shows.
Yeah, he would appear quite often on ABC TV. Balder man. Glasses. I was always a big fan. He's bald. Bald.
Okay, he hosted New Inventors.
That's it. Yeah, he's still doing great. I'm sure. I just haven't. He hasn't come across my radar this year.
Yeah.
He balder than a normal haired man.
Didn't say me.
Balder than Andy. And he knows it. He's cut it very short. He's done the right thing. He's got glasses. And he's a very funny man, smart guy, but I haven't thought of him for a while. And until I thought of him recently to go, geez, he'd be a good one to tell us someone we haven't thought of in a while. That's the rules. If you've not heard this game before, if you just joined us since we started podcasting, you never heard the radio show, has to be someone that we honestly haven't thought about this year.
Yep.
You have to nominate someone that we haven't thought of in a while. And if you do so, traditionally, you win hats. Now, we haven't done the shout-out for hats.
Token of no value?
Could win a token of no value. I do notice both of you guys wearing hats today. Would you give away your personal hats?
Mine was a gift, and I would never give away a gift.
I think you should, Jack. I think you should give away the hat.
I got this spare hat.
Got an Auntie Donna hat.
Yeah.
Is that yours, or was that sitting in here?
No, Auntie Donna, the comedian guys, gave it to me, but it's so tight. Look at
That's
it.
a small-headed hat.
To wear it, I'm on the very last rung, so I'd happily give it away.
Small-headed hat. Jack, you are going to nominate your hat, I think. That's the right thing to do.
Well, let's go. Andy's Auntie Donna hat. Andy's hat he's wearing, and then if 3 people win, I'll give away my
People
hat.
get the choice.
Well, Andy, your friend gave this to me.
All right.
What's his name again? Eddie.
Oh, yeah, Eddie. Yeah. All right, anyway, let's just see how that goes.
What a surprise that this has just devolved into Jack saying Andy has to give away 2 hats and he's giving away none.
I'm happy to put both of mine up.
You're a good boy.
Okay.
Because you love our listeners.
I do. Brad joins us. Ahoy, Brad.
Ahoy there, gents.
Ahoy, Brad.
Tell us someone we haven't thought of for a while.
Mate, you guys are around the same age as me, so you surely remember this chick. Teresa Livingstone. She was on Agro's Cartoon Connection.
Teresa Livingstone.
Who was the main girl on Agro's Cartoon Connection? Anne-Marie?
Anne-Marie.
Anne-Marie, yeah. And you also had Holly Brisley as well.
Remember Holly Brisley? If you'd gone with Holly Brisley, you might have a hat. But Teresa...
This says the goalie walking over to the guy that took the penalty going, geez, if you'd gone right, I would have never gone there.
But I'm not sure if I remember who Teresa Livingstone ever was.
I've not heard of her, Brad.
Anne-Marie was from 89 to 95.
Understand.
And from 95 onwards, you had Teresa.
Okay.
I've looked her up. She doesn't...
Because the other thing, the hard thing here, Brad, for players is it has to ring a bell for us too.
Okay, righto.
Well, you're a fascinating mix of very, very well armed with the facts, slightly aggressive in making your point, but also very, very happy to accept new rulings.
Brad, thank you.
Thank you, Brad.
But unfortunately not.
Hatless.
Hatless
Jack
for you.
breathes a sigh of relief.
Yeah. Crystal.
Hi, guys.
Crystal, you would have heard that. That's the tough thing about this game. You need someone that is in the public consciousness.
Or in ours, really,
Yeah.
for us to go, yes, I do remember that person, but I honestly haven't thought of them this year.
Who are you going with?
I am going with Flavor Flav.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's very good.
I haven't thought of
I haven't
Flavor
thought of
Flav this
Flavor
year.
Flav for a while. You have got a choice of hats. Actually, we said we'll just do the Auntie Donna first. Yeah, but
No, I'm worried I have.
In
I'm
what
worried
context?
I
In what
have,
context?
unless I'm mistaking it with another person from the hip hop world. Who was the person, Andy? I was telling this story a few months ago when we were filming something in LA. Who was hanging out the front of a chicken shop, a fried chicken shop?
Yeah.
Where we stopped.
No, that was Funky Combadino. That
No,
was,
it wasn't.
That was Tone Loc.
It was Tone Loc.
It was
Someone else from the rap game. Well, not
Yes.
rap. Not too hardcore. No, you're right. And
yeah.
he was giving feedback on people's mixtapes if
For
they
10
for
bucks.
lunch.
For
10
lunch.
bucks.
Yeah.
Are you sure that was Tone Loc?
That was definitely Tone Loc.
Maybe I'm thinking Flavor Flav because the chicken was delicious flavour. Crystal, great news. I wasn't thinking of Flavor Flav. That was a different musical genius.
Congratulations.
You got it, Crystal. You got a hat. Now, what would you like? The Arnie Donna hat, Andy's plain hat, which I'm going to describe as a trucker hat, traditional trucker style hat, puffy front panel, puffier perhaps than even normal, a mustard coloured hat with a blank cream panel, Jack's hat. Ooh, now that's what you want. That's a white fabric hat with a kind of a Chinatown, New York Chinatown takeaway logo on it from like a store or a shop in Chinatown.
Crystal, your thoughts?
I think I will go with Andy's spare hat because I don't want to take his present hat.
Oh, she's
Thank
lovely.
you.
Arnie Donna will be pleased for the promotion. Thank you, Crystal. You've got that hat. Genevieve now joins us.
Well
here.
done. You got that hat.
Hello.
Genevieve.
Ahoy, boys.
Ahoy, to you.
Ahoy, ahoy, Genevieve. The two hats left in play are Andy's mustard hat, Jack's,
My personal favourite.
and Jack's white hat, which was a freebie, and he won't miss.
Genevieve, tell us someone we haven't thought of for a while.
Have you thought of Sally from Brand Power recently?
Yep. Sorry.
Damn it.
You picked one of Andy's top 5 women.
No, Gruen Transfer constantly are referencing Sally and Brand Power for people who watch that show.
What's Joe Silvani on?
Joe Silvani's also Brand Power.
Is she Brand Power or is she like buyer's choice? Because there's a few clones popping up at the moment.
I mean, if you'd gone with either, would have thought of them.
Yeah.
Or even Zoot Reviews, remember?
Zoot Review,
Zoot
that's another
Reviews,
big one.
yeah.
There's one that's been banging around now that just does electronics. I can't remember who it is. I think it was someone ex-Wheel of Fortune. But yeah, Genevieve, really tricky there. Sally from Brand Power.
Yep.
If you'd have named her or Joe Silvani or the girl from the Ford ads, Andy would have been interested and aware at all times.
Thank you, Genevieve. Aiden, ahoy to you.
Ahoy, boys.
Ahoy, Aiden. There are still 2 hats in play. You are our last contestant to tell us someone we haven't thought of in a while. The mustard hat is in play. Jack's very, very good quality white hat that I would highly recommend is in play. Aiden, tell us someone we haven't thought of for a while.
Elsie and Charles of X Factor.
Sorry, I'm so
Andy
sorry.
thinks of people. Andy's a people person. He's thinking of people all the time.
Great.
When did you think of Elsie and Charles?
Beck and I went for a walk when we were in Sydney along the cliffs, and Jack's already nodding.
Yeah, that's where he lived there for a while. He made a camp in the cliffs.
Beck said, it looks like they're kind of caves people could live in. And I said, well, funnily enough, I think
It's a
Alfie and
common
Charles
move post
got-
The Voice.
Yeah, it wasn't The Voice.
X Factor?
One of them. It might have been Australia's Got Talent. Who knows? Anyway, I said to Beck, funnily enough, the fame got too big for Alfie and Charles, so he was forced to go and hide in a cave.
A sort of a luxury Bin Laden.
But where no one came looking for him.
He's giving away clues that he was in there. So Elsie and Charles has been, he's certainly been in the headlines for Ando. Bad luck, Aiden. Out of interest, what hat would you have picked?
Definitely the white one.
Yeah, it's a shame. I wish I could have given it to you. Aiden, thank you. If people have
Got any others, Aiden? Any
The others.
one more chance?
No, we're finished. All I'm saying, if people have any others, go to hamishnetty.com.
No, but if Aiden had one more, we could get Jack's hat.
Put at the top, Hamish Netty don't read. It's a tell us someone.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And as soon as we see it, we'll delete it.
Yeah.
And then perhaps you get a
you're
chance to play the game, get a hat.
Bad
hopefully
luck,
Jack's.
Aiden. Bad luck, Aiden.
Haim, we haven't done this for a while.
Have we done this on the podcast?
Maybe once, maybe?
Once, I think.
Jack's calling once.
I think once.
I would say...
It's harder to do on the podcast because we had to put it out on Facebook to go, hey, we're going to do this. We're not going to look at the post. We want to tell us something we haven't thought of in a while. It was probably one of our favourite games on radio when people could just call in.
We're coming up to halfway through the year. Do we make the rule, Ham, we haven't thought of them this year?
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay,
That seems like the right rules.
you got to call in with, or we'll have called you back, but with a celebrity that we haven't thought of this year, and we've got to prove it to you by a backstory of who we actually have mentioned it to.
Yep.
Generally is how this goes. You ready to go? You want
Yes, I
to
am.
do the insert for the...
Well, we say one during the intro, tossing up between two. I think I'll go with...
Yep.
It's been a while since I've thought.
About the French actress who plays Amélie.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen them.
She's been off my radar.
Yeah.
Who else?
I think about her because...
He's always...
because of your dad.
Yeah, he loves her.
Your dad's the only actress. So whenever you talk about your dad, it seems to be...
I don't think he's seen a film since Amélie. I think he just sort of thought that's as good as it can get. The other one I was going to go with, another French one.
Yeah.
Two Frenchies in my
Gerard
head today.
Depardieu?
No, the soccer player Zinedine Zidane.
Oh, yeah, I haven't thought about Zidane for a while. Yeah.
Yep.
That would have...
The headbutt in the World Cup.
Obviously, you get more points if that person is... The more famous that person is, and we haven't thought about them.
And they have to be a celebrity that we all know.
Exactly.
We do sometimes have some flame outs where we're just like, well, we don't know who Ted Burner is.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no, he's a great dancer.
Yeah,
not to us.
sorry.
We should point out to, of course, the prize. It's usually a selection of hats that people have sent in. Now, obviously, we haven't done this segment for a long time, so it's really just hats that are available.
Yep, we've got 3 hats available, but 2 are the same. Hey, you can go through the first one.
2 are an old sponsor of the show, BPay hats. Now, they are not a deep hat, I'll tell you this.
No.
Whilst BPay were deep in their generosity of sponsoring the podcast,
Yes.
they've wasted their deepness on their gestures, and they have saved none for their hats. It's a shallow cap. We've got 2 of them.
Yep.
I don't want to dissuade you from the BPay hat.
If you've got no forehead and your ears seem pretty high, this is the cap for you.
Wear it with pride.
Yeah, 2 of those on offer.
2 of those and a green trucker hat. Again, it's a little too shallow for my liking, and a shorter peaked trucker hat from the Raintree Cafe in Bangkok.
Yes. We did a gap year out of the Raintree Cafe in Bangkok.
Somehow it's still in our office, this green hat. It's had enough chances, I think, since 2013 or 14.
From memory, very big in size, and you end up having to use all the press studs at the back of it
It's
to kind of...
and it's a flimsy press stud too. I've just touched.
They're not great caps, but
and also you might find often on a trucker there's a foam insert around the band that adds a little bit of padding or sweat absorption for your head. Not present.
Ian,
basically, it's
ahoy to you, Ian.
Ahoy, gentlemen. How are
Ahoy,
we?
Ian. We're very good, mate. Good luck. You got 3 hats on offer. 2 are the same.
Yep.
Tell us someone we haven't thought of in a while.
Edward Furlong.
Gee, that's
Very good. I think I'm pretty
trying to-
clear here. I'll tell you, I would have nearly thought of him, but I didn't think that. Because
what I was thinking.
Pet Cemetery is being remade, and wasn't Edward Furlong in the original Pet Cemetery?
I'm not actually sure. I just remember him from Terminator 2.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was in the original Pet Cemetery, and guess what? I didn't think of him when I saw the posters. I can't say I thought of him, but it's a chance I would have thought of him. So a near miss.
I got very close to thinking of him as well because I watched the recent Pet Cemetery trailer. That's the new one.
Yeah, and did you almost think of him?
And I said to Beck, "Hey, this is a remake. This is an old film. I'll show you the trailer." And she said, "No, I'm too scared." And so we didn't watch it.
But you would have seen him.
I would have watched it and seen him. So you were on a knife's edge, Ian.
And you've shot through there on 2 almost thought ofs, but didn't think of him. Wow, what hat do you want, Ian?
BPay.
Awesome.
BPay. It's blue with white along the sides.
Complete there, so
It's a felt, I suppose.
fabric, soft brushed fabric, brushed cotton. Hat, same material the whole way around, whereas the trucker hat, of course, is the netting, and 1/5 of the hat, the front panel.
It's green,
is
that
fabric.
one. Which hat?
I would like the green one that's travelled halfway around the world. Thank you.
Yeah, smart choice.
Good call. All right,
You got
thank
it, baby?
Ian. We've got it from Ian to Joe. Joe, are you there?
Yeah, hey.
Ahoy to you, Joe.
Oh, hey, Joe. Joe, there's still 2 hats on offer. Both are the same.
Yeah.
Tell us someone we haven't thought of for a while.
Gautier.
I've thought of him.
Have you?
Yeah, I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, that song just comes on from time to time, but we were talking about all-timers, Australian, with our mate Chris from America.
Yeah, right,
We're talking about Australians that have made it, and he was talking about Silverchair in America.
Yep.
And Savage Garden came up, and then Gautier came up as well.
Right.
So
you would have been clear from me, Joe. One of those ones where you think you've thought of him because you appreciate what he's done, but then if you're being honest, you haven't thought of him this year.
And Joe, we all thought it could have been someone who you used to know, but I unfortunately do think of him. Still know him.
Used to know of him and still do know of him.
Okay, thank you for the polite giggle.
I see what you guys have done there. Loose wordplay, B+ wordplay. Great. Thanks for having me on.
Jess, ahoy to you.
Hi, how you doing?
Jesso, very good, mate. You've still got 2 BPay hats here on the table. Tell us someone. Velcro fastener at the back. That's what tells you all you need to know about the quality of the hat.
That's what you're playing for today. Tell us someone you have.
The Olympic rower, Lay Down Sally, from the 2000 Olympics.
Sally
Robinson.
Sally Robinson, that's her name, the one that stopped rowing just before the end of the race.
Have we?
I've thought of James Tompkins recently.
James Tompkins texted me to ask for your number. So
we've all been thinking of James Tompkins recently.
And when you said the Olympic row, I was going to go, how
not good. This is unlucky, Jess, because I said to Zoe, James Tompkins just texted, and she's like, is he the rower? I said, yeah, awesome, foursome. And went through the rest of the boys, Drew Gin, and all the rest. But
Jess,
you weren't. I haven't thought of Sally Robinson.
I haven't thought of Sally Robinson. I'm not even sure if I know what she looks like anymore.
Well, we only saw the top of her head. Above the boat, you could just see the arch of her nose and a tuft of hair.
There were 8 rowers, weren't there?
Can't remember. It could have been a 4, could have been an 8.
I think so.
She was in an 8 and she stopped rowing in the Olympic Games, didn't she?
She just was cooked, I think.
Just before the finish line.
Yeah.
They were going to win.
We never really got the full story. No, they weren't going to win, I don't think. I think
they weren't going to win?
Maybe they were going to place. I mean, it seems like a better
story if they were going to win.
I don't think we got the full story. Like we never got. There was rumours that it was a medical thing that she'd passed out, but then
like extreme exhaustion or something,
which you would get. I mean, rowing's very hard, certainly at the Olympic level. But then there were other girls in the boat going, "No, she's done it before." Then there were other girls going, "No, she was just exhausted." I just don't feel like we ever got closure.
We're not going to follow it up either on this program.
No, we're not. But we'll tell you what you've got, Jess. Head closure. You've got a hat. You've got one of the BPay hats. Well done.
Thanks, Jess.
Just confirming that we were saying Sally Robbins there.
I said Robinson a few times.
I think we all said Robbins.
And her name is Robbins,
ding.
Hey, haven't done this game for a while.
Love this game. We put a bit of a shout out a couple of weeks ago on Facebook to log a few of these. We then stepped back from Facebook so we would see nothing. It is tell us someone we haven't thought of in a while.
Essentially, all you have to do is throw a celebrity at us that we haven't thought of. Should we say this year?
Yeah, because I think we put the call out, can't remember, but it would have been like late Feb, early March. We put the call out and that we thought we'd wait for a little while because the rules are always we haven't thought of them this year.
Yes.
Felt a bit rough, a bit too easy.
It's too harsh on us.
Too harsh on us to just play it first week of the year or whatever. So
we're in April now. We
can do it now. We're ready to do it now. Jack, do you have one for the opening song?
I've got one. Okay. I like it.
Okay. Now the rules are it's an honesty game. If we have thought of them, bad luck. But if we haven't, you win a hat. We'll explain what the hats up for grabs are after this.
It's been a while since I've thought
about the musician Ben Lee.
Yeah, and it's been a while since I've seen them.
It's all coming back to me now, Jacko, how this game works. Andy usually has thought about someone that morning.
I thought about him 30 minutes ago.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
You're so proud of it.
I liked one of his tweets 30 minutes ago.
You follow him.
I follow him on Twitter.
You know he's in a band now with Ted Mosby from How I Met Your Mother.
Jeepers.
I know.
Andy only follows 2 people on Twitter, and Donald Trump and Ben Lee. It's a weird echo chamber he's in.
All right, when I thought of him, I hadn't thought of him in a long while.
And then that can be the frustration of this show because you say something like, Henry Winkler.
There's the proof.
Just looking at the proof, Andy Lee's like Ben Lee's tweet.
You say something like, the Fonz, and then everyone goes, no, I just saw him 2 days ago. Wrote him a letter, dropped him a haircut. And then people go, damn it.
Yes.
That's what I haven't thought of him. And that's the trick. So it's trying to get in our heads to go, It's the kind of people Hamish and Andy think of.
Yep.
And how can I trick, and Jack, how can I trick those guys?
Haim, the hats that are up for grabs today?
Hats are up for grabs are sitting outside the studio. They're usually not that good to be in the studio. Mike, could you bring the hats in, please? I know for a fact, Ando, one is a BPay cap.
Oh.
None of which you would say, here's the BPay cap. They're all dark. In fact, there's 2 BPay caps.
What if?
Yep.
And BPay.
Sorry. Yeah, I've made a mistake here. We've got a few different, 2 hats, 2 styles, several options. The big melon, what if? Not sure what that is. That you could look like a fool wearing that because that seems like an exhausted promotion. These are both what I would call entry level promotional baseball hats. They're not truckers. They don't have the shape of that. They look shallow.
Yep.
They have the Velcro, my least favourite fastener.
Yeah.
Velcro at the back. I don't know what the big melon is, but I hope you don't have one because this does look like a shallow hat. Going for the what if hat. That's black with a bright green embroidery. Embroidery is not that. There's a bit of money they've spent there.
Yep. I would put both of them in the category of a hat you wear gardening at your own house. They're not public hats.
Yeah, this is you give one to your dad. You give one to
Dad
your
would love
mum.
one of
This
these.
is a parent hat for sure. This is not. You would not wear this out to your fave nightclub or even your second fave. The BPay hat has a little bit of money spent on the peak. I'm not a fan of this. You see it in some sports hats.
Yeah.
It's 2 colours on the peak.
A white stripe.
Looks a bit like a cricket hat.
Yep.
I understand what they've tried to do. I think it hasn't hit the mark. You've got the BPay logo again embroidered, so not the absolute cheapest option.
Yep.
But really, both of these hats are just saying
Entry level.
I support these companies, which of course we have on the podcast. But in hat form, I would have loved to see BPay do so much more because I know they're capable of it. But
Well, they put all their time into their research and design of their service.
their platform. And that shows. So I guess in a weird meta way, it's a great ad for them. To go, we're this bad at hats. Imagine how good we are to pay your bills.
Yeah.
So I guess it works.
Alana, ahoy to you.
Ahoy, Lana.
Ahoy.
Lana, this is exciting.
This is
For
exciting.
the first time in a long while, tell us someone we haven't thought of in a while.
Okay, I'm showing my age here, but I am the same age as you, so you might know. Cookie from A Country Practice.
Oh.
Didn't watch. This is an interesting category because
I don't have any idea who she's talking about.
yeah. So you've passed in that sense that it's someone we haven't thought about in a while, but
We
it's sort of
had
like
to
giving us
have-
the 9th president of America.
Yeah.
Unless that's one of the classics.
We had to have
That
thought
was
about
Lincoln
them.
or someone. I'm not going to know it.
We had to have thought about them in the past.
Yes.
And
Okay.
So it's a dead ball.
Thank
But
you,
it's lovely to
Alana.
have talked to you. Thank you, Alana. Rowan.
No worries.
No
Thank
entry level
you.
hat for you today. Rowan, tell us someone we haven't thought of for a while.
Frankie Muniz of Malcolm in the Middle.
Have I thought of him?
Is he the middle kid?
He's Malcolm.
Is he Malcolm?
Muniz, sometimes Muniz, obviously Rowan's preferred pronunciation.
Hmm.
Oh,
I remember him better off Special Agent Cody Banks.
Yeah.
someone's
Yeah.
gone deep on
Yeah.
Muniz today online. I'm just scanning to check that when I watched Breaking Bad recently again with my wife, I rewatched it.
Yep.
When I looked at, when I was watching Breaking Bad, and I'm obviously thinking, oh, okay,
Yeah, that's the dad.
that's the dad.
Did you think of
Did I then have a quick think of Malcolm?
You would have. You can't really think of the dad, I don't think,
you
without
could
thinking of the
I
whole
think
show.
that's a stretch.
if you thought if Bryan Cranston,
Yeah, sorry, Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston, he's the actor that played the dad in Malcolm in the Middle, also the lead in
Yeah.
Breaking Bad.
And he's Walter White, but he's also Malcolm's dad.
I reckon you would have.
Would have I had a quick think of Muniz?
I think you
I wasn't specifically thinking of Muniz, but as I quickly placed Walter White back in the family setting
Yeah, you
of
would-
Malcolm in the Middle, did I have a quick think of
would
Jack
have.
thinks I did.
Yeah, okay, you can't think of him as the dad without thinking of the whole show.
Yeah.
Thinking, such a shame. But so I didn't think the words Frankie Muniz, but I did have a quick think of him as a character,
as a human.
as
I
Malcolm.
think you're trying to stretch it there.
No,
I don't want to. I don't want to. I want you to have a hat so bad, Ro. But I think I've got to be honest here and say I had a quick think of him.
Thank you, Ro.
So sorry.
Moving on from Ro to Doug. Ahoy, Doug.
Hello.
Doug, this is exciting. No hats have gone off yet.
Yep.
Tell us someone we haven't thought of in a while.
Okay, first of all, happy birthday, Andy.
Good
Thank
boy.
you.
Thank you. It's American Idol legend William Hung.
Oh my gosh, you are so unlucky. I've thought of him.
That's unbelievable because I have not.
There's no way.
Yeah, I agree, Doug. There's no way. You might be thinking of
No.
Kelly Clarkson
No,
or some
no.
other idol person.
We had him the other because we were talking about Flynn. Remember we had
We
Flynn?
had Flynn from Australian Idol. He was Australia's version of Willie Hung, but I forgot about William Hung.
I'll have in my search history.
Oh, don't show that here. Deep secrets.
I can't remember who I was talking to about it, but definitely in my search history, I've had William Hung just recently.
Doug,
I don't
devastating.
believe him. Do you guys believe him? I don't believe him.
It's a good question, Doug. I mean,
I immediately jumped on it.
You did immediately jump on it. It sees unbelievable, but I mean, it's an honesty game. I got to stand by my man.
You know what it was? I remember where it was now.
Time to think of a backstory.
No. I didn't think of a backstory. I went to the Michael Bublé concert with Beck.
Yeah.
And he did crowd participation.
Right.
And a guy sung the song that sounded a lot like William Hung during the crowd participation.
And you explained to Beck what it was.
And Beck Beck brought it up with me, who is that Idol guy? And I thought she was talking about Flynn, the Australian Idol guy. And she said, no, that's not it. Went back to William Hung.
Doug, do you believe him?
Yeah, he's got me.
Got no choice. Got no choice.
Yeah.
Bloody good effort, Doug.
Yeah.
It's a hard game to win.
Yeah, and you knew my immediate recall when he said it.
Yeah. I know. You think of a lot of people.
Warren.
Ahoy, boys.
Ahoy, Warren. No hats have gone off. You've still got, you can still hit a BPay hat or a what if hat.
I'd prefer the what if, to be honest.
Yep.
But
Tell us someone we haven't thought of in a while.
I reckon you guys haven't thought of Peter Moon in a while.
He's so unlucky. So
now
unlucky.
this I can verify. Warren, you'd be right in thinking that to the average Australian. Can I shock you? He lives 2 doors down from me.
He lives 2 doors away from Hamish.
A coffee with him recently. Now, this isn't some cock and bull story about hearing someone at a concert. This isn't some rapidly liked tweet. This is the real deal, baby. Andy picked me up from the coffee.
I said, was that Peter?
I was meeting Andy, and I had to sort of cut it short. I said, Pete, great to chat. We're talking about industries. He's telling stories from the 90s. I mean, he was the pinnacle of radio.
Peter Moon was a huge breakfast radio host in Sydney.
I mean,
he was like bigger than, as big as Carl Sandler.
Alongside Steve Izard and whatnot, comedy shows, sketch shows in the 90s. So
unlucky for you, mate.
Well, maybe I should have dropped a Vizard or even a Michael Veitch. I don't know.
Vici? I reckon you would
go with Vici, not Vizard. I drove past his house yesterday and it was getting some renovations done. And I said to my girlfriend,
so, mate, you've come to the wrong show because if someone appeared successfely in the Australian sketch comedy landscape in the 90s, we know where they live and we will track them ferociously.
All right, boys.
Unlucky, mate. Unlucky. He's since sold his house, though. I can...
Peter Moon or
Peter Moon. I can sell. I'll give you a buzz back. Well, I've got your number. I'll call you back off air and I'll take you through the full sale and Pete's story these days.
That's incredible. Okay, thank you very much, Warren.
Wow.
Caitlin.
Ahoy, boys.
Ahoy,
okay, it's been a disastrous run for the people. But but you still can get a hat here, Caitlin. Tell us something we haven't thought of in a while.
Old mate Kevin 07, Kevin Rudd.
No.
Oh, that's a tricky one. I mean, I think we've all thought of him this year.
No, but I haven't.
I know.
That's not the game.
But you have. You have while you're waiting on hold. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
That old technicality.
That would have been worth 2 hats, though, if neither of us had thought of Kevin, because he's still trying to pop up.
He's always there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
You never quite know if it could be Kevin 27.
Thanks, Caitlin. Emma is our last contestant.
Wow.
Emma.
Ahoy, boys. Happy birthday, Andy.
Good on you, Em.
No need, but you've still got a full rack of hats, which because none have gone off. Tell us someone we haven't thought of for a while.
I don't think you guys have thought of Misha Barton.
That's pretty good.
That is good.
That's pretty good. I don't think I've thought of her. Jack's worried.
I haven't thought of her.
I think that's all clear from me too.
Yeah, no. No, it's clear for me. Sorry, just trolling back to think, have I had an OC discussion?
Scanning.
Are we giving it?
Scanning. Thought of Rachel Bilson. Sure, who hasn't?
Yeah.
Scan.
When you thought of Bilson, did you think of Misha Barton?
No.
She's got it. Misha Barton. What is she up to these days?
What was that, sorry?
What's she up to these days? I don't know why I asked, like you're a
You go to
friend.
school with her?
I don't know. She's not a personal friend of mine. I'm really not sure.
Yeah, either am I.
I'm glad
I thought maybe
didn't-
you had seen an article
yeah,
or something
but
and gone,
I'm sort of glad that Emma didn't then say, no, she's in that movie Forever November.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, God, I saw that. Sorry, yeah. No, you're all clear still, Emma. Here's the exciting part.
Yep.
Do you want the What If hat? That's a plain black hat with a bright green What If slogan on the front, embroidered, so not scrimping, or the BPay hat, navy, white embroidery.
the badge.
White embroidered.
Look, I really liked the BPay cake, so I think I'm going to have to go a BPay hat.
Okay,
Right.
it's a good choice. Wouldn't have been Andy's first choice.
Nah.
It does have a sports type brim to it, but it is
I would
coming your way.
Yeah, and I would say just at home around the garden.
Oh, it's a gardening hat. I mean, this hat will have a spider's web on it within a week. And that's okay. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, boys.
Thank you. Hey, a lot of people have been emailing at hamishandy.com asking to play this game.
This is so exciting to have it back.
Should we do the opener now or discuss the hats?
I think we do the opener, then we do the hats.
Okay.
It's been a while since I've thought.
About Gerard Depardieu.
Yeah, and it's been a while since I've seen them.
Yeah, I haven't thought about Gerard Depardieu this year.
I don't think I have.
No. He went a bit, he did something weird politically.
I think he
Start of
renounced.
last
Didn't
year.
he renounce his French citizenship or something as in protest and moved to Switzerland?
Yeah. Yeah, so I thought about him last year when he was up to that.
I thought about him nonstop. But then times change, world moves on,
Yeah.
things happen, and you stop thinking about Gerard Depardieu.
Do you reckon our younger listeners know who Gerard Depardieu is?
I think you'd know of him. It's like we know, Clark Gable. I wouldn't be able to name his films, but I know he was a famous old-timey actor.
Yep.
So, yes, I'll give myself a pass there.
Okay.
Famous French actor.
Green Card was his big film.
Big US film, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Andy McDowell.
The game, of course, is tell someone we haven't thought of in a while. The rules are, just in case you don't know, you say someone, we have to honestly tell you if we've thought of them this year.
Yep.
If you do name someone we haven't thought of this year, you can win yourself a hat.
Yes.
You have 3 hats you can play for today. Some have appeared before in the segment.
Very excited about the top
One very, very special new one. I'll just quickly brush over the ones that have appeared before.
Yeah.
You've got your BPay hat. That is, it's a Velcro back, not my favourite. But it is an embroidered BPay. It's navy. Got a
It's
bit of white
certainly
decal.
not brand new because I think they sent it in when they sponsored the show a year ago.
Yeah. So they might even have a new logo by now. But if you are a fan of easy online payments and you'd like to wear the BPay with pride, that is a fully embroidered logo. Sometimes we do see an iron on, so not the worst quality you can have.
No. Design's the problem.
The design's the problem.
Quality's fine.
Looks a bit like they've gone for a sporty design. They've put the speed stripes on
Spots on
the
the side's
Yeah.
terrible.
Really, really basic hat here. Plain black. Again, an embroidered what if
What's the latch at the back?
logo. Velcro again.
Velcro.
Again, actually, all 3 of them are today, so I can't have too much of a go. But
Yeah, but that'd be our problem with Wayne's World's hat.
yeah, well, there you go. I mean, the cat's out of the bag. Hat number 3 is none other than Wayne's World discount variety stores, popular in Queensland, branching out. We've had Wayne himself on the show. He sent in a bunch of merch. We now have the Wayne's World hat. I know your girlfriend Beck loves hers, Ando.
Yes, I've got to apologise. One is missing from what was meant to be the communal pile because when we're doing the shows at my house, Beck went down and said, I love this hat, and she's been wearing it non-stop.
She's a great ambassador for the organisation. 100% cotton. Beautiful quality on the hat there. Made in China.
I would have loved a different latch, but that's okay.
It is Velcro. Maybe you don't hate them as much as I do. We've got 4 lines of stitching on the peak. That's neither too many nor too few. I don't think you'll find the fabric coming off the peak. It's a good hat.
Yep.
It is the pick of the litter.
Yep.
But you might have a special affinity to BPay or what if. We won't push you in either direction. Sorry, navy blue. Yeah. And, of course, the Wayne's World logos we all know in yellow.
Yep, not the film. Oh, that was Hamish
That's an
threw the hat
accidental
down.
ding.
Accidental ding. Holly joins us. Ahoy, Holly.
Hi, how you going?
Yeah,
Very good, Holly.
You'd be, I'm not going to bother asking you what hat you'd be going for, but just tell us anyway.
Definitely Wayne's World.
Yeah, we all knew.
While we're on Wayne's World, we have noticed there's a few other Wayne's Worlds around. Did we mention this on the show before, or did I just see an email? A welding company, Wayne's Weld.
Oh, that's good.
Is out there too.
Yeah,
So if they want to send us a hat, we'd be more than happy to accept that.
Holly, tell us someone we haven't thought of for a while.
Don Ed Hardy.
Don?
Remember in the early 2000s, the Ed Hardy fashion brand?
Oh, Ed Hardy.
yes.
Yeah,
Ed
right. I
Hardy.
didn't know it was
Yeah.
started by Don Ed
I
Hardy.
know, either did I until I Googled it.
So there is a bit of a grey area often in the contest here where you can't not think about something you weren't aware of. We have to have thought about them, then stop thinking about them. So we will accept Ed Hardy, the fashion brand.
Yes.
I'm
and
so-
how did the
I
fashion
have.
Same.
I have.
Stop.
I don't know why, but I
Really?
think Tommy Little said something.
Oh, mine was that Beck and I were going through the ridiculous fashion hats. It was actually hat-based discussion when Von Dutch came out originally, and they were $130 a cap.
Yeah.
And
I can't remember if I
we
either
moved-
saw Tommy Little's stand-up and he mentions Ed Hardy as a hat, or if it was a personal conversation I had with him, but his name is coming up in association with Ed Hardy. In a joking way, I should point out. I don't want people thinking that Tommy public-facing is either on the project or he's in a black T-shirt with cool tats and then privately he wears a lot of Ed Hardy. It's not the rumour I want to
not
start.
coming back.
Holly, thank you. Good suggestion.
Really
but
good one, Holly.
Okay.
Jacqueline, ahoy to you, Jacqueline.
Hi, boys. Happy birthday, Andy.
No need.
Good on you, Jack. Who haven't we thought of for a while?
Mrs. Krabappel from The Simpsons.
I haven't.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've been watching a fair bit of The Simpsons on Disney+.
Sorry, Jacqueline.
Sorry, Jacqueline. I mean,
Damn it.
Yeah,
I mean, I've gone back early too. I
That's the
should
fun
be.
of the game.
I know that is the fun of the game, Jacqueline. Well spotted.
Is Krabappel throughout?
Bart's teacher, yeah.
Yeah, but no, but she throughout the whole series.
Great question, because what I meant to be doing on Disney Plus is to be catching up in that sort of season 15 to current day patch that I'm fell off The Simpsons.
Is
but
Krabappel just through the whole thing? Because she was very prominent in early seasons.
I really only know the season 10 episodes, and she's all the way through that.
She is.
Okay.
I mean, that's the golden era. I mean,
Mike, you've been into this stuff. Mike, is Krabappel in the whole all the way through? He's written us a note. I didn't even realize we had this. The voice actor is Marcia Wallace, passed away in 2013, and the character was retired. Great fact, Mike.
Well done. Jacqueline's still on. Are you still enjoying the fun of the game, Jacqueline?
Yeah.
This is great. Well, thank you, Jacqueline. Good stuff. Dylan.
No wonder you hadn't thought.
So you won't.
Yeah.
If you'd only just gone into The Simpsons recently and started at season 20.
Yep. Wouldn't even know.
No idea.
Dylan, ahoy.
Ahoy, lads. Thanks for waiting.
No.
Very good. Good bow move.
Dylan, tell us someone we haven't thought of for a while.
The duo, the Flight of the Conchords.
No.
Sorry. Listened to their live in London in the car the other day.
Yeah, they're also one of the prominent, when you're flying, back when we were allowed to fly, on Qantas. They're one of the prominent in the entertainment.
Live in London's there.
Yeah.
Oh, they would be.
Sorry, Dylan. I mean, you not to know this, but Brett is a friend of mine. He messaged me last week. So, I mean, one of the very few times that I cocould just go in and go, really hard to message someone and not think of them.
It wasn't much of a delay.
Sorry, Dill. Mitchell, no one's. I mean, I thought the hats, the Wayneswood hat would be definitely gone by now. Mitchell, ahoy to you.
Ahoy, fellas. Happy birthday, Andy.
No
Good
need.
boy, Mitch.
Tell us something we haven't thought of for a while.
Yeah, so we're going into 90s breakfast cereal mascots here. King Willy Wheatie.
Oh, I haven't thought of him for a while.
Willy Wheatie. Full of fruit and nuts if you're going to the fruit and nut variety, and packs of wheat.
I have not thought of King Willy Wheatie.
I haven't either. I can't claim this.
Mitchell.
You ripper.
Yeah,
You ripper.
Mitchell, well done.
Can you take us back through King Willy Wheatie?
Are the Wheaties still available?
Don't know. You can get
I haven't
round
seen
ones.
Still in the cereal box.
Yeah, he had a cape, didn't he? And a staff as well. He had the full King's outfit.
Yeah. I wouldn't. They
Yeah,
don't
that's
think Kings
political
call it a
scandal.
cape, though, do they?
Yeah, it's a King's cape.
Isn't it like a gown or a...
Not a gown, I wouldn't call it that. Maybe a cloak? King's cloak?
Yeah.
But he was a benevolent king from what I remember. He was a generous king, kind to his subjects.
Yeah, he never
But he
attacked
was a
any other
Wheatie.
cereals.
He was a Wheatie himself, wasn't he?
He was.
And so in one sense a benevolent king, but in another sense he knows all his peasants are being off to be eaten.
Yep.
And he himself was never eaten.
Mitchell.
What hat do you want?
I heard there's a Wayne's World hat on offer, so that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, well done. That's a smart
buddy.
choice.
Smart choice. You've got the Wayne's
Well done,
hat,
mate.
which is devastating for George, who joins us now. Ahoy, George.
Ahoy, boys.
The Wayneswood hat's gone. You've got the BPay hat or the What If hat still available. I would go the What If, but mate, tell us someone we haven't thought of in a while.
Have you thought of Christopher Skase?
Yeah.
Oh, really? I haven't. Why are you thinking of Scasey?
Well,
What's going on there?
Yeah. Bit of an insight into Andy's mind here.
Yeah, it's a little bit of scheming, are we, mate?
The man who's obviously often thinking about funneling funds offshore and where would be a nice place to hide from the government.
Must be nice.
Must be nice. Andy. Must be nice to
government.
spend our days thinking of tax havens and dodging paying our fair share. Must be very, very nice.
Must be very nice.
No, George, it's not nice.
Andy was thinking of him as he was putting up a bronze statue of Christopher Skase in his circular driveway to pray to him each morning.
No, I was explaining to Beck.
Yeah, who your heroes were.
No, I was explaining to Beck there was this series of kind of like famous billionaires that were ripping people off back in the day. It stemmed from us seeing where when I was in New Zealand, the Australia 2. This year, January. The Australia 2 and actually the New Zealand yacht is there for the America's Cup.
Yeah.
And then we started talking about Australia 2 with the winged keel.
And so you're
that
going...
started to Alan Bond. And then it went on to Skase.
Lee.
Yeah.
You're just sort of wistfully looking into the distance going, one day, babe, I'm young, I've got time.
The part that I told Beck that she thought was a bit sad, but I thought was kind of slightly amusing was everyone thought that Skase was faking his ailments because they were trying to extradite him back to Australia and they're like, he's not sick, he died.
Eventually.
And so that is a great way to prove that you're sick.
Well, follow your heroes, you'll get that second golf simulator, no dramas, mate.
Appreciate you being here for the Stacks On, George.
Please hang up on him, Jack. A lot of people writing in saying, and thank you for going to hamishandy.com.
We love it.
All the correspondence, you can hit us up there, saying that they've got someone in mind for tell us someone we haven't thought of in a while.
No, they obviously can't tell us who they've got in mind because then we would think of them.
Yes.
The rule, it gets harder and harder, of course, this game. We've played it for years and it's one of our favourite games. It gets harder and harder as the year goes on because the rules are, we haven't thought of them this year.
Yeah, have we thought? Try and tell us someone we haven't thought about this year. Hey, hats on offer, obviously.
Hats are on offer. The last time we played, this hat is jackpotted. It's the What If hat, plain black with green embroidery. Again, one of my least favourite fasteners, if not my least favourite fastener, is the Velcro fastener at the back. My very least is that fabric through the buckle.
Yeah.
Very least favourite. Doesn't hold. Popular. You see it on... Cool people wear it.
Yeah.
Cool people wear, I think, like there's like a thing where you, like it's a Ralph Lauren hat.
Yep.
Must be nice.
No, I think yachting pals and stuff, I think they're doing the buckle.
Anyway, I don't like the buckle. And then the What If, I digress, this is a Velcro fastener.
But look, it's unoffensive.
It's unoffensive. It's a gardening hat. It's a washing the car hat.
It's just black with
the green What If.
Green line.
BPay stepping up slightly in the next hat, but again...
You think that's better than the What If?
Well, I mean, they've spent more on it.
They have.
That's what I mean. I know, you can tell it's a thicker brim.
I think they've achieved less.
I think they have too, and they've overreached. And that's what happens if you're a company like BPay who specialise in online solutions. That's great, but you're not a hat company, and it shows because what you've done is a way too thick embroidered BPay logo, and then you've tried to add sports detailing.
Yeah.
You've made it look a little bit like Victorian cricketers' caps.
Yes.
And you're not a sports company.
Or a V8 supercar type cap.
That's it. So you got a speed stroke coming down the front and then it extends onto the brim. You can see the white piping there along the front of the brim, which yells, I'm about to take an outfield catch. Yeah. You're not. You're about to process an online payment and you should have stuck to what you knew. So,
new hat, which I think is the better.
New hat. Don't know where this came from, but it is Robide Steel Services. It's a snapback. Obviously a lot more modern format. It's a double studded snapback.
Great.
Top shelf there, almost like a 950 if you're familiar with them.
With a logo that screams it could be an NBA basketball hat.
It looks a little bit like, who are we thinking of there? The Bucks, Milwaukee Bucks maybe? But it's got, it's a black hat with a blue brim, and orange, navy and silver embroidered logo. That's Robide Steel Services.
So more Knicks colours if you're
It is Knicks, isn't it? But it almost looks like, it's in a badge.
Yeah.
There's a lot to love about this hat. Yeah. It's tough and it's in a badge format. The logo.
It's been a while since I've thought
about Ian Huey Hewitson.
Okay.
Yeah, and and it's been a while since I've seen them.
Panicked a bit, forgot it was my go.
No, processing, going through my brain. Have I thought about Huey?
Do you know Huey, Mike? I mean,
You're
you're...
very young.
Yeah, I have thought of Huey in the last week, actually.
In the last week?
Yeah,
Why?
I can't remember who it was, but
Are you cooking something?
No, no. Someone,
chicken?
someone sent me a screenshot of a YouTube video that was just an episode of Huey's Cooking Adventures.
Yeah,
Wow,
well, he did
okay.
have some
There's a
adventurous
total
cooking.
chance.
He went on some wild. You never knew where he was going to be. Usually outside near a harbour or something.
Yeah, no reason to be there, but it was a nice fact.
I mean, when you're a producer, you're just going to jazz it up. Because I mean, this is back in the days where the show probably rated higher than MasterChef rates today, and it was just on in the afternoon. Like back in those days, you get 100 million people watching the news at night. It was the golden era of television.
Sophie, ahoy to you.
Ahoy, boys. Happy birthday, Andy.
No need.
Thank you, Soph.
Tell us someone we haven't thought of in a while.
All right. Bam Margera from Jackass.
Oh, okay. Ooh. Yeah, I think I've thought of him. I went recently. I mean, because we've been in lockdown a bit in Melbourne, so I've been disappearing in a few rabbit holes.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Hawk, I was looking at online, and that led me into the Jackass guys and how they started.
Right.
So I was watching a lot of their early skate videos.
You would have got me, Soph, but
Sorry about
unfortunately,
that, Soph.
Hamish has thought of him. It is tough.
He's a classic.
Because you are spending a lot of time just kind of wandering through the internet, aren't you? So
Yeah, that's an unlucky one, but I found him and all his mates down a rabbit hole. His dad. Current day, Bam's, he's gone, I think he's
wasn't there a
vegan.
recent tragedy for Bam?
I don't
No.
know. But we went vegan.
Really?
He's quite clean. Like, well, he's very clean. Very clean. Does a lot of stuff with his dogs.
Liam.
In the event of the tragedy, though, condolences. Not to my knowledge.
Liam, ahoy to you.
Hey guys, how are you?
Very
Yeah,
good, thanks,
good,
mate. Someone we haven't thought of in a while.
Damien Martin, ex-Australian cricket player.
Sorry, mate.
Andy thinks of every cricket player every day. He wakes up, takes a knee, and he looks at the team photo from 81 to 2020, and he individually thanks them for their service.
With the lack of cricket, if you follow Cricket Australia,
they're showing
play highlights, and there was a Martin run out just recently. I think it was probably 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago on the Cricket Australia
Instagram account.
So I did think of him, but
had me for a sec, Liam. But yeah, it's going to be tough.
I was tossing it between go Australia or should I go an Indian player? But no,
more chance. Although Cricket Australia, they have been showing international highlights. So
who would you have gone with?
Saywag.
Nah, still thought of him as well. He's actually been in the highlights as well. Verena Saywag.
We will be here all day playing this game, Liam.
Jasmine, ahoy to you.
Ahoy, boys.
Ahoy, Jasmine. Someone we haven't thought about all year.
Miranda Kerr.
Sorry.
Yeah. Apologies for that. Have thought about her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as much as I used to.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's revealing too much. My wife is in skincare, and her skincare company, Miranda does skincare as well. It was mentioned the other day. And I was reading something going, oh, that's interesting. She does it this way. My wife does it the other way. I'm not saying who's better. In my opinion, obviously, go to far superior. But good on Miranda for choosing to do it her way.
And I'm with Zoe as well. That's 2-1. 2-0, sorry. We've got Ella, have we? Ahoy to you.
Ella, ahoy, Ella. This has been a tough round.
Yeah.
We're hitting some unlucky cases of recognition or remembrance here. Who haven't we thought of this year, Ella?
Ahoy, boys. I think that would be the poor man's version of the Wiggles, the Hooly Doolies.
Oh, you haven't thought of it all. Yeah, that's a fantastic.
That's
well done.
I was a little bit tempted to go, well, can you name who's in the Hooly Doolies? But it's not the point, and no one can.
You would know who the Hooly Doolies are, though, Ham?
I know who they are. I remember them, and that's all that you have to do. Because if you haven't thought of Steve from the Hooly Doolies. I didn't know there was a Steve.
If someone said to me, do you know what the Hooly Doolies are? I don't think I would have even known. Yeah. Mike, did you grow up on the Hooly Doolies?
Yeah, I used to really like the Hooly Doolies, but I have not thought of them since I was
What age
like 4.
did you really like them at?
Like
4?
Yeah.
Right. What were some of their big hits?
The Hooly Dooly song or something?
Yeah.
It sounds like you're making
Well, Ella, the great news is you've got yourself access to the caps. You've got the black What If hat, the dark navy BPay hat, or the black with the blue brim Robide Steel Services hat.
Oh, hard choice.
Not really. You may have missed the start of being on hold. But,
I think I did.
Right.
Yeah,
okay. Well, we won't bore you with a recap, but there is a clear superior hat. Up to you, though. What if BPay or Robard Steel Services?
I mean, why not the steel services?
No, you've done it. That's absolutely the hat to pick, Ella. Well done.
Fantastic, Ella.
You're on fire.
We'll wrap this up with Mark.
Yeah, Mark, give us one. See if you can round it out. Your chance to pinch one of the 2 remaining dud hats. Mark, ahoy.
Ahoy, hoy, boys. How are we today? Very good. Sure.
Ahoy, hoy.
There we go. All right.
That's good. Go, Mark.
Now, Andy, DJ Havana Brown.
Have thought of her, unfortunately. I'm reluctant
Mark,
to say
you're
it.
walking through a minefield here. Again, next to the cricketer's photos on Andy's bedroom wall, I can attest there is an old, small shrine. You haven't lit incense to it for a while, Ando, but
very
it's still
rarely, if
your
ever.
fault for carving it into the wall, because then when you met your beautiful girlfriend Beck all those years ago, you couldn't jimmy the shrine out of the wall. Now, Beck's obviously put a towel over it, but you know what's behind the towel.
Very rarely, if ever, did I think of DJ Havana Brown. That was another lie that Hamish propagated. But
How come everyone believed it so much?
Beck and I discussed it the other day because I think she's released another song.
Right. And you're updating the security down at the guard booth, having a word to them, going, do not let this woman on the property.
Thank you, Mark.
What's the song like?
I didn't listen to it.
What's the video clip look like, though, since you obviously watched it on mute?
Hey, second last show of the year. Actually, a side note, for next week, we'd love people to send in their interactions with the loyalty card.
Yeah.
We know it's probably all going to be successful. No teething issues, done.
We'll just have a
Certainly
final...
not at Chapel Street Precinct.
Chapel Street Precinct, the sponsor of the letter that accompanied the card, a thriving precinct. You see cards down there left, right and centre if you're in the Melbourne area.
Yeah.
The loyalty card is going absolutely bananas on the precinct. We will get our last montage together of the stores that are accepting it, the success stories from across the world.
Yep.
As the world embraces the card the stores love.
Yep. For next week. So get them in this week, hamishandy.com. This will probably be the last chance we get to play this game.
We love playing this.
The game's called Tell Us Something We Haven't Thought of in a While.
It's a tough game. It's obviously a subjectively judged game because it's an honesty system between myself and Andy over whether or not, if you name a person of note, a famous person, whether or not we've thought of that person this year. So obviously getting to the pointy end of the year, we've done a lot of thinking, and often it's about people.
Yep. People have got the knack of it now on hamishandy.com just going, I've got one.
Don't tell us, obviously.
And we get a producer to get back to them because obviously we don't want to be thinking of it at the moment.
For the spirit of the game.
There's hats available to win.
Wow, what a haul, Ando. Today's hats are, I dare say, we haven't seen a haul like this since we had a Physio Creme, the world's most famous creme, a Physio Creme hat for up. But that was a terrible hat.
Yeah.
The Physio
Great
creme.
creme.
Wonderful creme, terrible hat. But we haven't seen a haul that sparks this level of emotion, I suppose, since the Physio Creme days.
Hats available to win today.
Hats available to win today. First cab off the rank, a Budgie Smuggler, the Speedo's brand, which they would probably not enjoy being named as.
Yes.
But they know what they made.
Yes.
And they know whom is similar.
Yes.
Budgie Smuggler, although I guess trying to own summer. Because they're also doing hats. It's a Legionnaires. It's a flap at the back hat. And a sort of one of the five-panel.
Extremely colourful.
Extremely colourful. Extremely hip. I mean, you'd see this at music festival.
Yep.
And you just go...
Donuts on it looks like.
Alpha fun guy or girl. So donuts on it, bright blue with sort of pink donut logo on it. Budgie Smuggler embroidered on the front panel, but in such a way that it's not the sprinkles and the donut of the hat are so loud. The print, you don't actually see the Budgie Smuggler immediately. So,
I agree. Clasp at the back, Velcro.
It's Velcro. It's not
our preferred.
It's not my preferred, nor is it obviously the most expensive flat back you can get.
No.
I present you Exhibit B, Mitch's Lawn Care. Now this,
yes.
People will remember Mitch from one of our loyalty card montages.
Yes.
Where Mitch, if I remember correctly, Mitch from Mitch's Lawn Care, he said, we've got, the loyalty card is up and running at the merchant at mitcheslawncare.com for merchandise.
Yes.
But they're having teething problems on the lawn care side of things. So still figuring out the lawn care side. If I remember that correctly?
I think you're right, yeah.
Anyway, so this is on the merch side of things. What a hat, Ando.
It's a great
what
hat.
A hat. And look, the colour is Commonwealth Games, 90s Commonwealth Games Australian uniform colour. It's a deep gold.
Yeah, deep gold. It's got Mitch's lawn care
In a fluoro yellow.
Not printed, embroidered.
I'm taking one of these home
You should.
because this is a great hat.
And another Legionnaires cap.
And another Legionnaires cap. And I just think it is Velcro, but you can tell by the quality.
Yeah.
It's a kind of a UV50
Oh,
high-end quality.
Yep.
The kind of material you suspect Jeff Probst's shirt is made out of on Survivor. A quick dry tropical material.
I agree. So they're your two. I would say they're your one. I'd say that's number one, that's number two, and then number three.
Look, if you like the kind of more American baseball style,
the flat peak
950 kind of flat peak hat, this is a Robide Steel Services hat. Great steel services.
I think we mentioned it before.
We have mentioned it before. It's a snapback.
Yep.
If you've got steel needs, they will service those needs. Robide Steel Services.
Should we jump into it? People standing by? Let's do it.
It's been a while since I've thought.
About Miriam from everybody. There's something about Miriam, the TV show.
Yeah, and it's been a while since I've seen them.
I was about to say everybody loves Miriam. That's confusing. Another one. But do you remember Miriam?
There's something about Miriam, yep.
Something about Miriam, that TV show that came out, which a transgender person was put in a dating show.
Yeah, she was transgender. She came on Big Brother too in Australia.
That's right.
Can't say I've thought about it for a while. That is the kind of area that you can play. But you can also get us with Hollywood stars.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because a lot of the time, I might throw to Gene Wilder.
Mm.
Now, he featured in a lot of musical films, so you probably have thought of him today.
Yeah.
But, Jack, you might not have thought of Gene Wilder.
No, I have, because I was comparing to somebody who'd only seen the Johnny Depp version of
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Charlie and the Chocolate
do
Factory.
yourself
go
a
Wilder.
favour.
Gotta go Wilder.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Daniel, ahoy to you.
Ahoy, boys.
Tell us someone we haven't thought of in a while.
It'd be the legend of children's television, Sooty.
Oh, he's got me.
Tricky one here.
I thought of Sooty for ages.
I mean, I have, Daniel, this year. We tried.
With a kid, yeah.
I'm sorry.
He knows, Daniel knows.
He knows. And there's Matthew Corbett too, was Sooty's friend.
Yes.
Although, spoiler alert, that's his hand up, Sooty.
Sooty was a sock puppet.
He was a little yellow teddy
Just wanted to
with
make
his
that-
friend,
that
Sweep.
very clear for people who didn't know the Sooty. When you're saying,
yeah. Sweep was a dog, Sue was a panda. I was a big fan of them, Daniel. I was trying to find someone on YouTube to show my kids.
Yep. Daniel,
Apologies,
well
Dan.
played, but...
I did a great, hilarious piece when I was younger at the kitchen table, around about 9 years old, where I do Sooty naked, and I just hold up my hand and make him wave to people.
And Mum would love that.
Bought the house down. And no, I knew it was good because Dad was into it. And he's a tough crowd.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Possibly my
Might have
first inkling of going, okay,
Yeah.
it is possible to get him.
He can laugh. Bob, ahoy to you.
Ahoy, boys.
Ahoy, Bob.
Tell us someone we haven't thought of in a while, Bob.
Throwing a long shot, but the Umbilical Brothers.
Oh, I haven't thought of the Umbies for a while.
No, I think of the Umbies all the time. The reason being is because there was a period back then where I had long hair and you had short, and it was on the very mean PowerPoint presentation that went out after the Brownlow medal. I'm not sure if you remember this.
I mean, I do, but I don't remember us. Yeah, you know that one, Tom?
Yeah, there was always a PowerPoint presentation being mean to anyone who went there, and it called us the Umbilical Brothers. And
I'll take that.
And so the reference for a long time.
Rightio.
So Beck and I were
I
talking
knew it
about
was a long shot.
Yeah, sorry, Tom. How were you to know it was one of Ando's most tightly held cyber grudges?
Well, at least I upset Andy, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, you did, Tom. Partial credit. Well done. Tom.
Ahoy to you, Tom.
Ahoy to you, Tom.
Boys, ahoy.
Tell us something we haven't thought of in a while.
Firstly, congratulations, Hamish, on the enormous penis.
Thank you so much. Trying to keep things a little quiet there on that side of things, obviously focusing my attention on other projects, but you can understand the gravitational pull is difficult to escape. Tommy, who haven't we thought of for a while?
I don't believe either of you would have thought of former Australian Idol music director, John Foreman.
Sorry, no. I've
Have you?
Yeah.
I don't think I have.
He pops up. He was on the
Music for the Homefront?
Music for the Homefront.
Yep.
He
He
popped
was,
up.
and I was hoping you wouldn't watch it, but yeah, it's time over there, I imagine.
Quite a while ago.
Hoping I didn't watch it.
Are you having a good night? I am. As long as Andy Lee's not watching this, I think I've got one in the torpedo tube here.
Tom, great one.
Good one,
Johnny
Tommy.
Foreman. We don't see him as much on our tellies. He obviously is the conductor for the Logies. Logies was cancelled this year.
There was my opportunity.
So you had your opportunity.
Cue John Foreman to signal a wow wow from a trumpet.
On you, Tom. Angus, ahoy to you. No one's been managed to get to it.
I tell you what, Angus, you want one of these hats. They are good hats today. Angus, ahoy.
Ahoy, boys.
Who have we not thought of for a while?
Have you boys not heard of, or thought of for a while, Jessica C-Legs Watson?
Oh, Jessica C-Legs Watson.
I was thinking I thought it was hyphenated,
Yes, I
like
thought
Jessica Sarah Jessica Parker, and I'm like, he's got this wrong.
I thought you were mentioning someone Spanish there. It sounded like a long kind of Spanish name. Jessica C-Legs Watson. It's one of those ones where you go, have I thought of her or am I just thinking of her now?
Is Jessica Watson, did she sail the globe like Jessie Martin did?
In the Pink Lady.
She did. She certainly did.
She beat his record.
Circumnavigated the globe.
Solo and unassisted.
So, yeah.
Pink boat icon.
Yep. The icon.
I can't think of thinking about Jessica Watson.
I think I'm going to say I haven't thought of her for a while, but at the same time say I don't want that to take anything away from her achievement.
No, but I don't sit there and think of...
Well, I think of Edmund Hillary every day. Every single day. And Tenzing Norgay. There was more than one man on the roof of the world that day.
I'm more of a Tim McCartney Snake man, the first Australian to do it.
Wasn't it Snape?
I can't remember. That's why I think of it all the time. It's like, what is it?
What was it? Snake?
Snake or Snape?
I'll tell you what it is, though, because I think you've got yourself a hat.
You've got yourself a hat.
Well done.
Congratulations, Angus. What hat are you getting my K's and my P's mixed up with Snape, Snake?
I do like hat because it kind of makes you could technically say to someone quickly at a party, I'm working on a bit of a startup, bit of a hat. Would you say hat or hat?
Hat. What hat would you like?
What do we got still left?
All of them. Mitch's Lawn Care, the Budgie Smuggler, Blue.
We're sending you the Mitch's Lawn Care.
You want the Mitch's Lawn Care, to be honest.
Mitch's Lawn Care.
Yeah.
Sounds like that. Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah,
no one cares like Mitch.
Yeah, well done. You'll be thrilled with that. Haim's taking the other one.
Taking the other one
I'm
home.
jealous as heck of the two of you. We'll move on to Shane. Angus, congratulations. But Shane, ahoy to you.
Ahoy, boys.
Bad luck about missing out on the Mitch's Lawn Care hat.
Devastation.
That's right. The Budgie Smuggler one's still available.
Or Robide Steel Services. If you're a snapback man. Shane, who haven't we thought of for a while?
Harold Bishop, Neighbours.
No, I've thought of him.
Andy's thought of him.
Yep.
Shane, the problem is he plays a brass wind instrument, and if someone plays a brass wind instrument, Andy will think of them a lot more than the average man.
Yes.
Is that why you thought of him?
You've spot on. My nephew.
Am I actually?
You actually are spot on. I know it sounds weird, but my nephew was playing the tuba.
No, he wasn't. He's very small.
He's very small. No, but he was having miming playing the
okay,
tuba over Zoom, and
straight away,
his dad, Paul, said he's a regular Harold Bishop. To which the family really, really laughed.
Yep.
George had no idea what we're talking about, but. Alas, Shane.
That does sound weird.
It is. Yeah, it does, doesn't it, Shane? And an awkward glimpse into the Harold Bishop-based Zooms of the Lee family.
Yeah, we didn't get that show picked up where they broadcast our Zooms. I don't know why, but Shane, commiserations. On to Dean to wrap this up. Dean, 2 hats available. Ahoy to you.
Yeah, ahoy, boys, and happy birthday, Ando.
No need.
Good boy.
Tell us someone we haven't thought of in a while, mate.
Yeah, not sure if you boys are too familiar with the show Britain's Got Talent, but a little old lady took the world by storm, and her name was Susan Boyle.
Unfortunately for you, we've thought.
Unfortunately for you, Andy's nephew sang the prayer the other day.
No. Unfortunately for you, Jack, you and I were talking about the race to sleep.
Yes, that's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I know where this is going now. And yeah, Andy and I in America. We did a TV show over there almost 10 years ago, in an octagon, tried to race each other to sleep wearing brain monitors to see who had fallen asleep in the octagon first and who...
Haim was Snooze and Boyle was his character name.
Yeah,
still there, Dean?
Sorry, boys. I figured Andy would have watched a few reruns with all that spare time on his hands.
Yeah.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
It must be nice. We can only imagine. But I don't know if you heard the joke or not about
Sorry,
my
I
name,
wasn't
Snooze
watching-
and Boyle.
Watching.
Still don't know if he's heard it. Maybe we've got a bad phone line. But it was a very funny joke, and that's why they were talking about it.
So, Dean, commiserations. I wasn't watching reruns of our show. It was more that came up in conversation between Jack and I don't go home. But
here we
tell you
go.
what, if
Walter,
if I did,
cue up episode 9 again for me.
If I did have some spare time, what a thing to watch.
What a thing to watch.
Yeah.
You could do a lot worse for the whole family.
Haim, we love this game and we love people going to hamishandy.com. The game's called Tell Us Someone We Haven't Thought Of in a While. It's easier to play at the start of a year because we always set the rules of if we haven't thought of them
this year,
you will win a hat.
This calendar year, sorry, not this financial year.
This calendar year.
Unless it's an economist, then we will do financial years. So if you come on and you go, they're in the financial sector, and you go, Warren Buffett, well done, but I have thought of him.
Haim, and it's a chance for people to wear a hat. Hats are sent in by random companies.
Okay, 3 hats up for grabs today. We've never given away more than 3. I mean, you're showing me the BPay hat, and I'm having a look at it now. Absolute stinker. You would never pick the BPay hat.
No, they went for way too much. It's a felty type material.
You know the material, my
Velcro.
least favourite fastener at the back, which is a Velcro. And also just the brim. Make up your mind. Are we sports? Are we casual?
Yeah.
It's an embroidered logo, which is higher quality, but too little too late by the hat designers to try and pull back what's an extremely stock standard promotional hat.
Yeah. They've probably gone for a 90s kind of V8 supercar driving team hat, but without any of the prestige.
If you've got the choice, though, of wearing a 90s V8 supercar hat, of course you're choosing that. It stinks of a hat that's a last-minute thought jammed into a show bag at a university trade show to say, come and work with us. And I don't know what
the company's great, but the hats do not reflect the company.
As a way to pay your bills, it's outstanding. As a way to keep sun off your face, it's the worst.
Haim, bucket hat. First time we've had one of these?
Yeah, love the avocado bucket hat. They're roaring back into popularity, the bucket hat. They're having a moment. I'd say they've been having a year or two at the top. I only
Don't
know
get them
that
on the downhill. Don't get them on the
You'd want to
downhill
pick it up
slide.
today. I think they are probably on their way out. The only reason I know they're at the top of the hat game is 3 years ago, my wife and I were overseas and I grabbed a fishing hat, like a bucket, just a kind of a military slouch hat. And that I wanted as my pool hat because I need a pool hat when I'm in the pool because I'm a sensitive fellow, especially in the Mediterranean sun. Unfortunately, my Italian blood is internal. I don't have the olive complexion of your traditional Italian.
No, the Irish comes out of your skin tone.
That is, as unfortunately at surface level, I do feel the Italian deep down in the mitochondria. It's just not up near the surface. Anyway, had the fishing hat, had the bucket hat on, and my wife went, what are you doing? That's the worst hat. That's terrible. Fast forward to 1 year later, we're going to the beach. She's all about bucket hats.
You've always been ahead. In fashion, you've always been ahead.
Haven't I? So the bucket hat, be warned, it will leave popularity soon as quickly as I saw it come in.
And then finally, I think this is the pick of the bunch.
Stunning. Mitch's Lawn Care. We've mentioned it before. I personally own one. I wear it with pride. It's a yellow, it's a bright yellow, it's an attention-seeking yellow, a fluoro green embroidered Mitch's Lawn Care logo on the front. It's a parachuting type material, which is great if you're wearing it at the beach, just quick dry.
And
Legionnaire.
Legionnaire's hat, flat at the back. That's
Flap at the
great.
back.
So it starts, Sam's first up. Before we get into that, let's get into the opener.
It's been a while since I've thought.
About Steph McIntosh.
Good.
Yeah, and it's been a while since I've seen them.
Talked about it last night with Beck before going to bed, Ham. What was the name of Steph McIntosh's? She was a Neighbours star, but she had the very first reality show ever in Australia.
Yeah, she did. Had a go.
It was after the Ashley Simpson show. It was then The Simple Life of Paris Hilton. They tried to do it in Australia. She was dating Nick Riewoldt at the time, the famous AFL footballer. What was the name of that show?
100% Steph. Steph Uncovered. Behind the Stephs. Steph, via access all Steph. All Steph, all now. No, special Steph. Steph.
Jack, any guesses?
No, I can't remember the show.
The Steph Show. So
They probably went through all those names and then just settled on the Steph show.
So hopefully, Sam joins us now. Sam, ahoy to you.
Ahoy, boys.
Do you remember the Steph Show?
I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, you'd have to be very good. I think it was only on for a couple of episodes. And the problem with the Steph show is if I said to you Steph, you wouldn't know, you wouldn't immediately think of her. Steph McIntosh, yes.
Yes.
You know, she was someone that needed their first and second name. That could have
You
been
and I were on the Steph Show, reality show.
Against our knowledge.
Against our knowledge. They filmed her coming into the radio station.
No, but remember on the chairlift at Mount Buller?
Oh, yeah, that's also...
we did. Sorry, Sam, I know we'll get to this in a
That's
second.
okay.
Quick anecdote. Andy and I had to do the radio show from Mount Buller one day in Victoria. One weekend, and the standard thing was you do the show on the Friday. Ski slopes up in the Alps. You do the show on the Friday, and then we would milk it and stay for the weekend and do a bit of skiing. And we saw Steph there on the Saturday morning. So we're sitting on the chairlift, very hungover, talking about the escapades of last night. And she's like, oh, yeah, great, being very interested. And then did she point out the camera or did we see it?
No, when we landed, she goes, that was great, guys. And the cameramen were all sitting there at the end of the...
They were filming it from below, though. They were standing on the slopes just filming us as we were going by. And she was like, oh, by the way, I've got a mic on because I'm doing the show at the moment. And we went... Classic Steph, but we said no permissione, no permissione.
We granted no permission for that one.
Not
Sam,
for broadcast.
Sam, tell us someone we haven't thought of in a while.
Boys, I'm hoping you haven't thought of Michael Klim in a while.
Oh, sorry.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
The problem is, Sam, every time Andy by Hamish comes up, the fragrance, I immediately think of Michael Klim because to boost sales of his Deep Blue, I think it is, or Underwater or Out to Sea with Michael Klim, he wanted to create a friendly rivalry to get a bit of traction happening,
and
which we didn't do.
Yeah, we didn't. We decided against it.
But I do think of Michael Klim when I think Andy by Hamish.
Unlucky. Thanks, boys.
Sorry about that.
I was also, Sam, cleaning out my cupboards in the bathroom, found Milk, which was his skincare range from around 2000.
Still is, I think. It still is. I think Milk's going strong, yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Well,
I think he's dominating.
Mine had a use-by date of August 2008.
Yeah, right. So. I'm not saying that you would be going out and buying it. I'm just saying I think he certainly has a spot in the market, perhaps not the fragrance market.
Sam, bad luck. Ahoy to you, Hugh.
Ahoy, boys.
Ahoy, Hugh.
Hugh, tell us someone we haven't thought of in a while.
It was Ashley Simpson. Just my luck.
That's unlucky.
I've read. And
literally, I was like, Jack might not have thought of it. Jack, were you listening?
I did hear Ashley Simpson reference.
Jack was paying attention. So unlucky because it was last night in bed where I said to Beck, let's look up the Steph show. We looked it up and in the Wikipedia it said after the success of the Ashley Simpson show, and I hadn't thought of her until
that point. And now you didn't want to change late there because you knew.
I definitely should have, shouldn't I?
Well, yeah. Yeah, but that's okay. You're caught in the headlights. You're just sitting there going, what? How has this happened to me?
I was sitting there thinking, what do I do?
Yeah, I mean, you've turned up to play for Australia in a test match and you've bought happy pants. You know it's not the uniform. Rather than try and rustle up another pair of pants, you just worn them anyway. Worn them out on the field.
Hugh, bad luck. Thank you, though. Ahoy to you, Tom.
Ahoy, fellas.
Tom. Tell us someone we haven't thought of in a while.
I'm going to throw up Grant Webb from the Beaconsfield mine disaster.
Pretty good.
Ooh.
Pretty good.
Unfortunately.
This is where Andy's in. No, he's sort of told to...
it was 10 years since Fukushima, which was the terrible tsunami through Japan. And we were talking the other day, this is a few weeks back, and we're talking about what was the biggest... everyone's biggest catastrophe in Australia for a while. Obviously, the bushfires came up. We're like, well, what's after that? And it went back to the Beaconsfield mine, and we're talking about how they were trapped for a while.
But did you mention Grant Webb?
Yeah, did you get the name?
Isn't his name Brand Webb?
Yeah, I think it's Brant.
Yeah, that's why it's not ringing a bell for me.
Ooh,
it was Grant and Todd, wasn't it? Was it Todd?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you've thought of it.
I haven't said the... Well, look, I can't confirm that I've said the name, Ham. I can't confirm, but
you would have thought of them coming out of the lift.
And they loved their Foo Fighters, and Dave Grohl played for them.
We're thinking of them now, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I just don't think I can give it. When you say tell us something I haven't thought of in a while, I've definitely thought of them down. Yeah, but it was a great one. Sorry, Tom.
Great one. You had 1 from 2 there, Tom.
Cheers. See you, bud.
He was trying to protest. We've done a classic AM move. Yeah, well, thanks for your input, and I'm glad you've enjoyed being on the show. I haven't. I want the hat.
Jake, wrap this up today. It's been a tough one because we've been on, but tell us someone we haven't thought of in a while.
Yeah, hey, boys. Just Jason Lee from My Name is Earl.
Very good.
Very good. Yeah, absolutely.
Haven't.
He's the lead, isn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was.
And My Name is Earl was a big show.
I think they did about 6 seasons.
Yeah.
They did a lot more seasons than most people would have thought they did.
Yes. Jason Lee. You've got yourself a hat, Jake.
Outstanding.
Which one would you like to take? Obviously, Mitch's lawn care hat, which Hamish speaks very highly of.
They are small. They are small, the Mitch's. How big is your head, Jake?
Probably about a large.
Do you often try when you go to do an activity like, I don't know, rock climbing at school or something? Do you go, oh, is there any bigger helmets? Like, are you often that guy? I am that guy.
Yeah, I'm probably that guy. Yeah.
That guy. Well, I mean, go Mitch's lawn care if you want, but you will find it.
Avocado.
Well, the avocado will fit your head.
There's
no worries.
An avocado bucket hat, or the least preferred, but we'd love it off our hands.
Yeah, don't waste your time.
B-Pay hat.
Then I'll go with Mitch's lawn care.
Yeah,
he's still doing it. He's still doing it. And you've been warned, but I don't think you'll be disappointed. It's a really great
tremendous
hat.
Excitement from you there, Jake. Really appreciate the enthusiasm.
How are you feeling, Jake? Changed your life?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Certainly change your head wear on the day you choose to wear it. We'll get it out to you, buddy.
Well done, mate. Huge effort.
I'm very excited to play this game again. For new listeners to the podcast, welcome. By all means.
You might be doing the controversial sample one. If it pleases thee.
Yeah. Go back
and eat the box. I'll have one of these chocolates that I picked up at an NQR.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the flavour map on it. So what's this? Yeah, okay, peppermint fudge. Lucky for you. I like that. I'll eat the box.
Yes.
I'll now go back to episode 1. So maybe you are listening out of order, and we hope this is the episode that has convinced you to go back to episode 1. We also acknowledge
that us talking this long may have
we
put you
acknowledge
off.
it's a put off. We also acknowledge that certainly not saying you must eat a whole box of chocolates if you don't enjoy them.
Hey,
That's the bit that Forrest Gump left out. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get unless you have the map or...
That's true.
Or,
yeah.
And also...
Or a friend next to you going, no, that's orange.
And also, you shouldn't stop when you hit a bit you don't like.
Yeah.
You shouldn't throw the box away.
Yes.
Because there is certainly...
other treats in there.
Certainly value in pushing through and eating a different chocolate.
Hey, this game involves people contacting us and putting to us a person we may not have thought of for a while. Let's jump into it.
It's been a while since I've thought
about the ANZ Falcon.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen them.
They're still running with for overseas listeners.
Yes, one of the big 4 banks in Australia, ANZ, had a Falcon that we were led to believe was in charge of its credit card fraud department. Was that how it worked?
Yeah, which upon reflection, silly from them.
Silly.
It wouldn't entice me.
Didn't understand what was going on. Unless a mouse has your credit card, I don't think the Falcon's not interested. But the Falcon would be de-hooded, and I think the idea was we were meant to think it would swoop so fast.
Yep.
Down like Falcon speed.
Yep. Credit card fraud.
Credit card fraud. So you could absolutely get a credit card with ANZ and not worry
about fraud.
Skerrick about fraud because they had the Falcon.
Hey, we're playing for hats today.
My question is, are animals legal or did I break the rule?
No, love it. I reckon animals, mascots,
if it's famous enough,
characters, all fine.
Okay, really quickly here, as the way this works is you tell us someone, and if me and Andy both haven't thought about them for the whole year, according to our vibe, you will win a selection of hats. Companies send in hats. It's always a risk. Sometimes they're promoted as good hats, sometimes not. We've got the B-Pay hat. That is hanging around like a turd.
Yeah.
No one wants the B-Pay hat. That's navy.
Yeah, it goes for way too much. stripes, beading.
It's just
all
all
wrong.
the classic promotional stuff
All wrong.
and nothing in the fashion stags. We've got Textile Systems Australia, who clearly are an embroidering company. They've gone with the kind of the flat brim snapback.
Nice colour.
Nice colour. It's a grey textiles in the Hamish and Andy blue. We appreciate that. And the Hamish and Andy white. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I think it's over-embroidered, if you ask me. I think they're trying to show us. Jack, would you agree with that?
Shame for them. It's actually Tactile Systems, so they're not even getting their business name read on the show.
Sorry.
Tactile Systems.
I couldn't see it from the other side of the desk. Tactile Systems. Well, I thought
Elastic at the back, though, all one size fits all.
Don't mind that. But I thought they were Textile Systems because there's so much embroidery. You think they're an embroidering company.
Yeah.
So bad luck for you, Tactile. Here's one. Probably Jack bought this in himself. Maver's peanut butter. Now, we've talked about the problem Jack has with having too many peanut butter sponsors. I couldn't even honestly say if they're one of your sponsors, Jack. Are Maver's one of yours?
I haven't really heard from Maver's in a while. I've eaten through all the samples they gave me.
They were
one of the originals, yes.
Well, Jack, can you honestly say this is a good quality trucker hat?
No, it is a crumpled piece of mess. It is the flimsiest thing I've ever seen.
That's the guy you hired as your spokesperson.
But they do great peanut butter. They don't do great hats.
So it's the only peanut butter you eat?
No, 99 Monkeys, of course.
Okay,
no, sorry, 99th Monkey, 99th.
World's worst spokesperson.
I've been rounding it out. Another Jack Post classic, the Baker's Delight all corduroy hat. This would be the pick of the hats.
Easily. Hipsters would wear this and people would go, oh my God, where'd you get your Baker's Delight
Treasured hat. All the maroon Baker's Delight, flat peak, all corduroy.
Brilliant.
Don't know how many vouchers you'd need to buy that one if you were to try and purchase it from Baker's Delight, but that is what's on offer. Ando, let's get to these people we haven't heard of in a while.
Campbell, ahoy to you.
Ahoy, boys.
Tell us someone we haven't thought of for a while.
John Howard, the actor.
We have.
Sorry about that. Yes. A good pause for effect before landing the knockout blow. Of course, from Sea Change.
Yeah. The thing about John Howard, the actor, is I get reminded of him when I see John Howard, the ex-Prime Minister.
Right. Yeah.
I do make the correlation.
Yes.
So
do you play a little trivia game in your head with yourself where you go, there's John Howard, the ex-Prime Minister.
Yeah.
You know there's another John Howard.
That's what I do with myself.
Yes.
So, I have thought about him, Campbell. John Howard recently on telly was for Australia Talks.
Yes, the ABC Australia Talks program, yes.
So
not the actor, but it did make Andy think of the actor. That's how you were undone there, Campbell. You weren't to know.
Bad luck.
All good. Cheers.
Sam, ahoy to you.
Ahoy, boys.
Sam, tell us someone we haven't thought of for a while.
The beatbox phenomenon from Australian Idol, Joel Turner.
Jesus,
that's good.
Well done.
Well done.
Well done.
We had Joel Turner on the show, I reckon.
Probably several times. We weren't too picky.
Not recently, though, obviously.
Not
definitely not
recently.
recently.
We're running with a slimmer guest format these days.
You ran a risk there, Jeremy, of us not recalling that this person
completely
exists
out of bounds,
or ever caring or knowing that this person exists ever. But we had him on. He beatboxed for us. We were impressed in the flesh.
That was very good.
I guess with beatboxing though, the third or fourth album, it just
gets repetitive.
Well, yeah.
Yes. Well, I think it's unfortunate because they must admit so much of it's just the gee whiz he's doing that just with his mouth effect.
Once you past that,
because you're sounding like drums and stuff that we can also go and hear.
Yeah.
So really the only attraction, you can't sound better than a drum. A drum sounds the best drum. Nothing can out-drum a drum. So you can't ever be better than a drum. You can just have more novelty than a drum. And then once that does dwindle, it's hard. I also remember...
Well, that's the thing about novelty, isn't it?
It is in the flesh. Beatboxers, they focus so hard. And he's the best, obviously. Yeah. But he takes it so seriously. If you can picture it, Sam, it's quite an awkward moment. Not awkward, but... You're there with someone really intensely sucking in and sucking in, like pinching his neck.
He's doing all sorts of things to his face.
I just wasn't ready for
just
that,
to get
that
different
level
sounds.
Of, that level of intensity. So you really feel like you're in a very intimate moment with someone. Anyway, Sammy, you've done great.
Yeah.
What hat do you want?
Yeah.
I've got to go to the Baker's Delight.
Smart choice. You came to play.
That was not going to stay on the rack for long.
Executed your game plan well.
I know it's not part of the game, but just for the record, I thought of Joel Turner this morning.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Wow. Why, Jack?
What a
I was going to use him as a joke on the breakfast radio show I do with Chris O'Connell, but I filtered myself because I thought, no, that is not somebody he will recognise the name of.
an insight into the mind of a world-class sidekick. A lot of people listen to that show, Jack, and think you're just having fun and chipping away. They do not understand the quality control.
The amount of
guys
filters
on the factory line ripping off bad jokes before they make it to packaging.
If only our distribution system had the same level of filters for the T-shirt.
If only you weren't so exhausted, Jack, by the time you get to our show. Well done, Jacko.
Jacko. Well done, Sam. Okay, we're moving to Jeremy. Jeremy, ahoy to you.
Ahoy, boys. How you going?
Good.
Very good,
Tell
mate.
us someone we haven't thought of for a while.
Emil Minty, the feral kid from Mad Max 2.
Haven't, but couldn't honestly say.
I just don't think I ever... What's
Hang
his
on,
name?
was it a boy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mad Max 2.
Hang on, was this the kid? Did we try and track this guy down on the show once?
No,
Yeah, the feral kid. Oh.
We didn't try to track down the feral kid, though.
No, someone wrote in and went, I was the kid from Mad Max 2.
Oh, that could be true.
Is that what you're basing this off, Jeremy?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you've had him on the show, or it was on something. I remember you guys talking about
it was a peter out. It was definitely a peter out.
Yeah, it was, because he was signing
100% peter out. He
I think it was something about him. You could go to
know what?
Comic-Con or something, or Thingo, and get signed pictures from
No,
him.
you know what it was? I reckon someone wrote into the show and went, this guy came into like Officeworks or something where they worked and went, can you make 100 copies of this photo? And the guy goes, and he was signing him as headshots. I think this was the story. And then the guy working at Officeworks went, who are you? And the guy went, I'm
the
from
kid-
Mad Max.
Yeah.
The kid from Mad Max. And he was getting some stuff ready to sign. So it's a real tough one because the name didn't ring a bell, but the concept of the person rings a bell.
Yeah.
I'm willing to offer, because it's like, yes, haven't thought about that person all year. Questionable if that name ever was in my mind.
Yeah, I never knew the name.
Would we be willing to offer just the BPay hat?
Yeah, you can take the BPay hat if you want, Jeremy.
Oh, sweet. I'll take it, yeah.
Yeah, you
It's
can
actually surprising you said that.
Actually nice to get that off our hands.
That's a win-win.
I thought I'd give you a hand, get it off. Hey.
No, I appreciate it, mate. Well done.
Cheers.
It's the only way we were ever going to get rid of it.
Paul, ahoy to you.
Ahoy.
Tell us someone we haven't thought of for a while.
Someone you haven't thought of in a while, hopefully, is Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, no. Okay. Sorry. Started watching Silver Linings Playbook the other night.
Hers
Oh,
and...
are you serious?
Yeah, well, I mean, got a lot of time at home. Almost finished all entertainment ever made.
Bold for you, Paul, because she's still up there with one of the most famous actresses in the world. So I think...
Yeah, but I thought it's been about 2 years since her last one, so I thought maybe. But yes, everyone's at home, so...
Yeah.
Paul, well done. I mean, harsh in your Hollywood ranker. Like 2 years, she's dead to me. Paul's movie studio that he runs. Jennifer Lawrence is calling up. I really heard from you for 2 years.
Yeah, she's out.
Like Aquafina.
Bad luck, Paul.
Well done, Paul.
Rebecca.
Good effort.
Yeah, it was good effort. Rebecca, wrap this up for us. Tell us someone we have.
Boys.
Ahoy
Happy
to
birthday,
you.
Andy.
Good on you, Becca. Ahoy. Who have you got?
Now, this person's been out of the public consciousness for a few more than 2 years. Going to take you back to 2001, 2003. Aristos, the surprise chef.
Okay, it's good.
I don't know who Aristos is.
He had a Channel 7 show where he would walk up to people in the supermarket and go, what do you got in your shopping? What do you got in your basket? And they always had, if I remember correctly, quite a few staples and just enough trick ingredients. There was never anyone just buying chewing gum.
That's him.
Right. And you'd go back to their house, which also had seemed to have been cleaned up. And, when the husband opened the door, he was mic'd up. I might be being a bit rough on Aristos there. I mean, that was then he would cook with whatever was in someone's basket.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have thought Aristos was used on me as a joke, Jack. Recently.
Get out of town.
I'm sorry. I do a bit of work for Food Bank in Victoria who do an amazing job, distributing food to a lot of charities and stuff, helping people eat. And we were going to do an event before one of the lockdowns hit at the Food Bank warehouse in Victoria. And the comparison was made by someone there when I said, maybe we can take some of these ingredients. We could get a chef to come in and just cook with all the great food the Food Bank has. And someone made the gag, oh, wait a second, isn't this surprise chef?
Well, I'm just glad that other people are also thinking about Aristos.
Yeah, let's keep him out there.
I'm shocked.
I'm shocked he wasn't one of the new MasterChef judges.
Well done, Rebecca. Bad luck.
Yeah.
It was
You certainly had an all clear from Andy. Just sailed right
over,
through his ears.
Yeah.
Didn't touch a neuron, but unfortunately lit me up like a Christmas tree.
No worries.
Haim, we've got to play Tell Us Someone We've Thought Of for a while. It's halfway through the year, so it's perfect timing for people to call in and tell us someone that they think we haven't thought of this year.
Yep. Of course, it's a trust-based game.
Yep.
If we genuinely have thought of them, often commiserations are in order. But if you get it correct, if you sneak one past both goalies, then you win a selection of hats. For some reason, we do get quite a lot of hats sent to the show from time to time. And you get a couple of hats on your side of the bench.
Yep.
Over here.
We've got 4 contestants, so we've got 4 hats. I'll start with what I think is the bogey prize. It's
That's a cheapie.
A what if hat. It says the Big Melon what if. Black with white green writing, our least preferred clasp at the back, just a straight Velcro ham.
Never pleasant.
Never
clasp. You just don't feel like you can get it tight enough, and you don't feel like you can trust that clasp.
Second hat is a trucker, and Jack will be pleased that we're mentioning it because it's from Maver's peanut butter.
Right, I think Maver's cut off the supply.
Stop acting surprised. He's reading from a script. He's reading from a script.
Maver's actually cut off the supply to me, so I'm now 100% monkeys. 29th monkey.
So you'd prefer not to have this hat?
I wouldn't choose it, no.
Great example to for any companies looking at jumping on board Jack's personal sponsorship train. A locomotive that has many carriages. Yes, once you're off the back, there is no love lost between you and Jack, and you can turn into an enemy of the brand.
No, I'm not an enemy. They do good peanut butter, but I will say, in the end, they really only sent about 4 jars, and they got a lot of promo out of it. So not worth it.
Tens of thousands of dollars.
They've played a smart hand there.
Haim, next hat is a Flexi Fit. We quite like them if they do are the right size. It's Tactile Systems. It's a grey, I would say oval.
Embroidered.
It's embroidered, so it's there's no expense spared. I'm not sure how much we'd love. I don't know what Tactile Systems does.
You don't know what the system is, but you certainly know you'd feel it or could get a good feel for it if you were around one of their systems.
But I feel like you've got the hat that we all might covet.
Well, Ando, the Dutch Deals hat. This is the website that I purchased some mini pancake mix, some Poffages mix from. The Dutch Deals website. I didn't spend $200 or more on the website to get the purple Dutch Deals baseball style hat. So I must stress that is just baseball style.
Do not play baseball in it.
This is not. You can try and play baseball, but certainly only recreationally only.
I wouldn't even do that, mate.
This is not the hat that the professional Dutch Deals baseball team uses. They obviously use the pro hat. This is just in the style of that hat. But look, it's absolutely the number one spot in Australia if you are looking for not just Dutch items, but deals on those items.
Haim, you've got one in the chamber because remember you've got to insert someone we haven't thought of it.
Yes, okay. I think I've got one. I was thinking of this person.
All right, let's cook into it.
It's been a while since I've thought
about Rosie Perez from White Men Can't Jump.
Yeah, and it's been a while since I've seen them.
You would have lost him.
Who else?
Oh, come on.
I've got great one to back this up. I listened to a podcast called The Rewatchables. I've told you about this.
Oh, yes.
Which is basically...
They did White Men Can't Jump.
They were doing The Bodyguard. I was listening to the episode of The Bodyguard. Basically, these guys that were into sport, really, they analyze films like their sport. It's just awesome. And one of the segments in The Rewatchables is it's the what if casting couch. It's the recasting couch. Yeah. And they said... the sister for Whitney Houston, who would play her? And they brought up Rosie Perez.
Well done.
That's tough.
But, well Matt, I hope you didn't have Rosie Perez in the barrel to fire at us. Matt, ahoy to you.
Ahoy, boys. Ahoy, number 6.
Ahoy. What would you... Matt, who do you want to throw at us that we haven't thought of for a while?
All right. Have you thought about, in a while, former Australian surfer Mark Oki Okulupo?
Oh,
I don't think I have. I don't think I have.
I've thought about a bunch
Michael,
of them.
I think I've thought about Michael Mick Fanning. Yeah. I haven't thought about hockey.
Yeah,
good.
Absolutely, Matt. Congratulations. That's a win straight off the bat. Yeah,
that is a win straight off the bat. And that's the best kind of one because, you know, as a 12-year-old suburban kid who had decided he was heavily into surfing despite having never attached
several hundred kilometres from a wave,
never attached the rope to the leg, but decided this is the subculture for me. I, of course, was heavily into hockey. Just didn't understand any of the stuff he was doing.
What hat would you like, Matt?
Oh, obviously the Dutch baseball team hat.
Well, not style.
Baseball style, whatever.
It's just important we make the legal definition because we certainly don't want you running out in the field with the Yankees and then getting a fly ball in the head because it didn't cut out the light properly because it is just baseball style.
Matt, congrats to you. From Matt to Abby. Ahoy to you, Abby.
Clinical, wasn't he, Matt?
Ahoy, ahoy.
Ahoy, Abby.
Ahoy.
Tell us someone we haven't thought of for a while.
I'm hoping you haven't thought of Collingwood great Brian Strawny.
Sorry. I'm really sorry. The unlucky one for you here is
hard when you got the poster.
Well, no.
You do have the book, don't you have Strawny's book in your house?
Peter Hellier. I do follow Peter Hellier on Twitter, and he does remind us of Strawny.
I'm not sure why.
He's not trying to bury Strawny, is he?
No. So Pete has reminded me.
I feel like you have
of
Strawny's. Don't you have Strawny's DVD or book or something in your house? Well, I feel like I've seen Strawny around your living room.
I've definitely read the book.
Maybe I'm thinking when I was at your house.
I did. It was at my house.
Sorry, Abby, no good there. But
one of the greats.
It was one of the greats. From Abby to Ben. Ahoy, Ben.
Ahoy, Hamish, number 6 and the birthday boy. Thanks for having me on.
Lovely to be here. Ben, tell us something we haven't thought of for a while.
I'm hoping you haven't thought of Reece Maston, the 2011 X Factor winner.
The reason there's a pause here is because I think of Reese's, but I get my Reese's mixed up.
We definitely know Reece Maston, and I'll tell you how we know him.
Okay, remember that was my worry for Ben, was sometimes you can't remember someone you've never known.
The days of the radio show, our producer Sam Kavanagh would always bring up Reece as a great example of someone who rallies people behind him on Twitter, and he had the Little Rockers as people who got on board Reece, and he was trying to convince us to do our version of the Little Rockers.
Still doesn't ring much of a bell.
Well,
doesn't ring a huge bell. Did he ever come on the show, Jack?
Reece would have been on the show, I imagine.
I don't. How do you spell his surname?
Maston, Masten, maybe.
I think you would call him Matson.
Shorter guy, but a really good singer.
Oh, he was a rocker, Little Rocker.
Yeah.
No, that was his fans were the Little Rockers.
I've looked him up. I don't think we've ever had him on.
Look up Hamish and Andy, Reece Maston.
Okay. Reece Maston. If he's been on, then we have to give it to him, but
I don't think I know him. I think I know Reece Muldoon.
Yeah, you do.
I think I obviously know, your more contemporary Reeces, your Reece Darbies.
I'm looking. Hamish and Andy, Reece Maston. In a Facebook post, it says, Hamish and Andy, we have a little segment called Tell Us Someone We Haven't Heard Of for a While.
From what year was he born up? Is he a repeat offender in this?
And someone in the comments has put Reece Maston. So it's not, the only association.
I don't think there's enough neural connection to go, we knew him. I'm sure, I want to say this publicly, I'm sure he's great. I'm sure the Little Rockers have put their faith in the right man, but I just don't know if we've personally made the connection. That's okay. You can't know everyone in the world.
So sorry about that, Ben, but excellent try.
Flattening.
It is flattening. It's a harsh way to lose it. But from Ben...
You would have looked good in the Dutch Deals hat too.
It's already gone. Tom, wrap this up for us. Tom, tell us someone we haven't thought of for a while.
Hi, gents. How are we?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Really good, mate.
So thinking or guessing you hoping you haven't thought of Oprah's long-term partner, Stedman, for a while.
Oh, that's interesting.
Good point. I mean, I obviously know who he is. Have I thought about him? I've thought about Oprah. I've
definitely thought about Oprah.
Many times.
I feel like...
Would I have thought about Stedman while I was thinking about Oprah? I mean, what's our decision on this? I know I've thought about Oprah.
Heaps.
And I know I've thought
about...
Particularly
after
after
Prince Harry and Markle interview.
Yep. And I know I've thought about her at home. Okay.
Do you think you saw her in the periphery of...
The question is, while I was thinking about her at home and because I was hearing a podcast with her on it and she was talking about like what her day is like and what her week is like. And I was thinking, what is your week like, Oprah?
Did she mention
And
Stedman?
what is it? Because she's talking about how she likes to be at home. She goes, she walks
Did
every
she say
day.
at home with Stedman?
No, but let's hear me out. She was talking about how she walks every day. She forages. She goes in her garden and gets the food for lunch. And it just sounds like she's got herself in a position where she owns half a state or something. Like, so she's
happy.
It's her forest and she's happy and she's having a great time in nature. And I know I thought a lot about what her day would be like. The question is, would I have seen him in that vision?
I don't think you did.
I don't think so.
I don't think you did.
I think I did.
No, you're getting
with Andy.
ahead.
I don't think you did.
Do you know what? I think I saw someone at lunch with her, but I couldn't say if it was him or not. It was too hazy. You've got it, Tom.
You've got it, Tom. Tom, what hat do you want, mate? Do you want the Mavis or the tactile? I mean, I'll suggest what if. I shouldn't lead the witness, but I mean, do you want the what if hat? What do you want to go with?
I'll take the what if one, thanks. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, there you
It just
go.
goes to show you always include choice.
Exactly. Thank you, buddy. Well played. Time for a round of tell us someone we haven't thought of in a while. Obviously,
It's harder as the year goes on.
Exactly. You got to bring up someone that you think we haven't thought about this year. You are always playing for hats that have been sent in, and the reason why I'm excited this week is that people are sending hats, Ham, but also with accompanying notes. They're normally just a company just has a go, sends something in.
Jockeying for our attention. I mean, we've just had some great... Dare we remember the days of Mitch's lawn care? Yeah. That hat.
Beautiful.
That was one of the great hats.
Physio Creme, the show's number one creme.
Back into the lion's den. As we say, we've made this very clear for a number of years now. You won't find a better creme in the world.
It's a good creme.
If you're a physio.
Yeah.
It's the creme of the crop.
Yeah.
But they are terrible at hats. Yeah. And they must wake up every day and go, thank God we're in the creme business. Because if we were in the hat game,
business,
we would be out of here.
Yeah. Would have dissolved years ago. Well, this one came with a note. They said, you guys have now got the last crap hat left in the whole physio creme building and business. They found the last one.
They're getting out of hats.
They're getting out of hats. And, I mean, it is bad, but it's up for grabs today. It's purple. It's got our least favoured class, the Velcro at the back.
Cheapest available.
It is embroidered at the front, but it's not a design that you would admire, but also...
No. I mean, you give them something for embroidering, they could have just printed straight on. But in terms of promotional hats, it's just absolute run-of-the-mill. I will say they've improved since the purple ones.
Yep.
The initial purple ones not only were all the worst options of a hat, but too shallow. Somehow they'd managed to get it too shallow. And you were like, did anyone at Physio Creme head offices put it on top of their head? Did anyone in charge of hats try one on?
Hey, another hat comes in with a note.
Yeah.
And this is from Hoyts. They've got I think, again, they've gone down the Physio Creme.
Remember, the budget for hats would have taken a slight dent.
Exactly.
in the past.
In the past, when
25 years or so.
Jack used to work there and help himself to the register.
No.
What was it again, Jack? What was the code word we're meant to use instead of money?
No. I did take
popcorn.
Some liberties with eating popcorn.
Of course.
On my shift. And
yes. So
that's the end of the story.
Just to describe the hat quickly, all black, and it's black on black. So it's not really showing off. It's quite a subtle, but it is our least favourite.
Don't give that to your staff. The last thing you need them to be is stealthier. We already know how sneaky they can be.
They said
a black Hoyts hat. I mean, they're ninjas already. Far out.
They write, Ahoy boys, here are a couple of Hoyts caps for you to critique. Well, you said least favourable clasp at the back. They said, we've also thrown in some Hoyts Lux tickets for good measure. P.S. The popcorn, in quotation marks, in Lux is free. So, I mean, they've used popcorn in quotation marks referring to Jack stealing cash from them, but then it reads
so are they saying it's free money if we go to Lux?
Yeah. So it's a bit confusing, but thank you, Hoyt's team. Now, quick question. Should we be giving these tickets to the crew here, Ham, or are these available for whoever wins the Hoyt's hat?
I mean, that will make the Hoyts hat the first winner, won't it?
Yeah, okay.
I think we keep those internally
Yeah,
because
okay.
hats is the prize. They've always been the prize. Physio Crem's not sending in 6 tubes of creme.
That's true.
Hoping that people will choose the hat. So we'll keep a close eye on the tickets because we certainly know what happens.
Jack, are you interested in the Hoyts Lux ticket?
Yeah, well, Lux is Hoyts' version of Gold Class, so it's the superior cinema.
There is no way you're getting them after everything you've put that company through.
I've happily been back to Hoyts, the same one I worked at, Melbourne Central.
Must have felt very weird having the money flow the other way.
Were you wearing a disguise? Did you see a most wanted poster behind
There's nothing
the
for me to hide from or be ashamed of.
Yep. Okay.
It is. I mean, fair enough. But, we don't have to trawl through the VIP submissions on the website. But I'm sure if we found a lawyer, they would still be able to tell us the relevant criminal code that theft falls under and whether or not you should be hiding.
Yes. Haim, you've also got the Dutch Deals hat.
Dutch Deals.
Side the table.
The baseball style
hat. Do not go and play baseball with it.
Do not register yourself to play for the Oakland A's, I believe was the featured team in Moneyball.
Yeah.
Wearing the Dutch Deals hat, you'd be laughed off the diamond.
It's only the style.
Because it's only a baseball style hat from Dutch Deals. But certainly they are where I prefer to get my Poffages mini pancake mix.
Okay.
Although happy to exchange money for the mini pancakes. Again,
they're the three
old funny system of money goes to the company, employees bank it on behalf of the parent company.
Let's jump into it.
It's been a while since I've thought
about the Milky Bar Kid.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen them.
Panicked a little bit. I probably had more time to space out the Milky Bar Kid.
That was great.
Joining us
really good one.
Is Brendan. Brendan, ahoy to you.
Ahoy, boys. And PW, how are you?
PW.
That's President Weasel across the desk there, boys.
I knew it had come. I knew it left in us.
President Weasel.
We didn't know that PW meant that. We're not on a shortening basis for that. President Weasel never even existed, did it?
Well, I think it was mentioned in one of the openers
that's what
of the
people
show.
are calling you.
President Weasel.
If that's what the people say, Jack, then the president must respond to the name.
I loved the pause as we all sat there and trawled through the back catalogue of our show going,
we were like,
PW. Brendan, tell us someone we haven't thought of for a while.
Alrighty, boys. Someone who featured quite a lot on Facebook and Instagram a few years ago, Dan Bilzerian.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry to say this, but I have a policy. I don't really ever unfollow anyone, and I follow Dan Bilzerian. He has been very quiet,
has he?
But he popped up not only weeks ago in the feed because usually just him on yachts
with babes and guns and whatever.
Yeah, just babes, yachts. He started a vape company,
right.
And they would just basically just on yachts shooting promotional videos for vaping.
Yep.
He popped up like it looked like he got married. Oh. It was him like walking down the aisle. I think it was a joke because he was like, look, I finally did it, was the only thing in the caption. Yeah. And then like 50,000 bros underneath being like, what? No, man, what's going on? But I do remember at the time, you've just reminded me because I was like, I must investigate to see if that was a hoax or not. Obviously, it wasn't massively pressing because I forgot about it, but I have. It was within the last month.
Sorry, Brendan. Well played. Brendan, on to Tarek. Tarek, ahoy to you.
G'day there. How you going, boys?
Yeah, good. Tell us someone we haven't thought of for a while.
I'm hoping you boys haven't thought of Coney 2012 in a while.
Oh, Coney?
No, not at all.
Yeah,
not at all.
Not at all.
In fact,
everyone
it took me
forgot about him in 2012.
Oh, didn't we? So I never really got who he was. I got confused, but he was like wasn't he like a militant kind of overlord in another country that was doing? Can you stop eating?
It was a small nibble of chocolate. And I thought
he was the general to the child soldiers or something like that.
Yes, okay. Well, I didn't know we were going to talk about war criminals while I was having a nibble of a lint ball. I would have saved the nibble for another time.
Well, I patted while you had the first nibble and you gave me a nod to say thank you.
Thank you, because my mouth needed.
And then you went back for another nibble and I thought that's when
that was a tidy up. No, he was an African warlord,
Yes.
Coney, and the idea was make him famous, and then he won't keep getting away with this stuff.
Yep. Did it work?
I don't think they ever got him. But I think the guy you've won, by the way, you've won.
Yeah,
Definitely,
absolutely. Yeah, well done.
Definitely got the hat here.
Yeah.
But I think the guy that ran the campaign, he got caught doing a bit of stuff.
That's right.
Oh, right. Did he get his own Daryl 2012 or something? Did he get his own?
He had his own. He had his own less than glamorous moment in the spotlight. He had a bit. I think it was a bit of a breakdown, wasn't it, Jack? And it led him to either self pleasure himself
in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Ran naked in the streets.
Yeah, I heard it was to a car. Or I didn't want to. I mean, we should just say here we're trying to remember here, so perhaps unfairly we're saying he made love to a car, but that's what I remembered.
Wow.
With a car.
Can't get into the logistics of that, but Tarek, you have one. You have one.
Not the segment. Not the segment.
You have one. Your choice of hat. I can't recommend not taking the Physio Creme hat enough. It's the worst hat we've ever seen, but it is the last of the worst hats we've ever seen. It's purple with our least favourable class. You've got the Hoyt's hat or the Dutch Deals hat. If you spend €400 at a Hamish's local Dutch shop, you get a free hat. Which one are you going with?
I'll have the Dutch Deals hat, please.
Baseball. Do you a fan of baseball style activity?
So it's a baseball. Sorry, should make that very clear. It's a baseball style hat.
Yeah, that sounds good, thanks.
So don't play baseball in it. We all actually
You can play wiffle ball, or you could play t-ball, or any other sport that's in the style of baseball but not actual baseball.
I'll be careful.
Yeah.
Okay, good. We've done our legal job.
Tarek, well done. Jake, wrap this up for us. Tell us something we haven't thought of in a while.
Ahoy, boys. I don't think you've heard or thought of Ken Bruce. Do you remember Ken Bruce?
You are so unlucky.
Oh, you got to be.
Ken Bruce has gone mad. Ken Bruce has gone completely mad.
Yeah.
That's the one.
You are very, very unlucky because Ken Bruce was a wild.
I think was it car stereos, mobile phones, or both?
Or white goods?
Betting.
Was it betting? No, you sure you're not thinking Captain Snooze?
You're thinking Captain Snooze, who also seemed to go mad a bit.
Mattresses in his ads. He was in a rocking chair, and he had
He was in a rocking chair.
Yeah,
we had gone mad.
Crazy John was phones, and he was a different type of mad person.
Yeah, there was a series there that you had to be mentally unstable to be able to sell anything.
No sane person ever offered a deal.
So, unfortunately for you, Haim, you can testify to this because we had Rod Quantock doing the Captain Snooze, and he was whipping beds during an episode of The 100 last season that you were on.
Ah, yes.
And while we were watching those ads of Rod Quantock, who looked like he was going mad, but he was actually Captain Snooze, someone said, Ken Bruce has gone mad. It's like, actually not. It's Rod Quantock going mad on behalf of Captain Snooze with regards to selling beds. But Ken Bruce is
Was that in 2022?
Yeah, that was this year.
Yeah, it was this year. Okay.
So, sorry, Jake. Well played. No hat for you. But thanks very much for playing.
Captain Snooze was a madman. No, thank you, mate. Well done. Bad luck.
I thought Captain Snooze was sane.
No, Captain Snooze was sane.
Mad.
Really?
Well,
that's what I mean. He wasn't advertised, wasn't part of his name. He wasn't so mad that he was known as Mad Old Captain Snooze. But he was certainly a madman. He's walking around in a nightgown with a night hat on, jumping on beds. He wasn't acting in sound, body, and mind at all.
He yelled at you a lot in the ads.
But I thought he worked at the snooze store, so it makes sense that he was snooze themed and on beds. He wasn't in the streets.
The guy that works as the head of Sealy Posturepedic probably turns up in a suit, mate. Like he's not walking around in pajamas going.
One of those funny hats from the 1930s.
He was like dressed as Wee Willie Winky. He'd lost it, mate. He absolutely lost it. But people still just referred to him at his military title, I guess, as a sign of thanks for his service. Andy, here's something we haven't done for a while, but could feature people we haven't thought of for a while either.
Yes.
In success for our contestants.
Haim, do you have someone in mind that you haven't thought of for a while?
Oh, not really. I mean, that's the hard thing. You have to dig around. How do you think of someone you can't think of?
Because people are still questioning whether we knew Reece Maston or not.
Oh, there was that. Then there was evidence.
You've already forgotten him.
No, have we covered off? I couldn't remember if we did this on the show or not. There was evidence uncovered where we talk about him. We say we'd never heard of him ever, but we talk a lot about him in a show, in an old show.
Yes.
where we talk about we mention him quite a lot. He doesn't come on the show though.
No,
He doesn't go that far.
No, he's never been on the show. But
we took him to Fiji for a prize. No, we clearly had heard of him before in our life, and it had faded away from memory.
How many hats are up for grabs?
Hats are up for grabs. We've got some classics. We've got a bucket hat, which I haven't really featured for a bit. This is Queensland Alumina Limited. I think they're responsible for this. It's kind of it's a bunch of mining industry brands on the hat.
Okay.
That is just a nice navy
bucket hat.
Cotton, like firm cotton bucket hat.
And it says here for Gladstone.
Yeah, fishing. It's like, it's a bunch of corporates. Don't really know who's leading the charge there because it's quite Rio Tinto. You got Boyne Smelters. You got Queensland Alumina Limited.
Yep.
Got everyone kind of joining forces to go. Let everyone know that you're with us and pop this on your head while you mow the lawns or do the fishing. Not bad. Not a bad hat. As far as bucket hats go, certainly got wearability. Savic Motorcycles, don't know where they're from, but they've made the interesting gamble of going the Flex Fit fitted hat. We've got a small or medium.
Yep.
Black,
pretty standard black. Looks like a
motorbikey.
Yeah,
I mean, it's if that's your thing, and and particularly if you like
Savic,
what Savic do.
Yep.
Great hat to wear if you were heading into one of their showrooms to show them you're one of the team.
Yep.
Then that's embroidered, by the way. Like the logo is on the lower left-hand side. That's a classic kind of baseball flex fit hat.
Yep.
Logo, bottom left-hand side, an artistic decision there to not go completely centered.
Yep.
Will it pay off for Savic? We don't know.
We'll find out.
Physio Creme, well-documented purple worst hat made. Flimsy Velcro, by far one of our most derided fastening systems on the back. Yes, that's embroidered for Physio Creme on the front. The white logo is embroidered. They are the world's number one creme, the world's number 5,000 hat. Here's the thing, though. The people at Creme headquarters, at Physio Creme headquarters, have gone, okay, no one's picking up that last purple hat.
Yeah.
That's been the booby prize for years. Let's send the boys some polar fleece beanies.
Let's send them. No one's picking up our terrible hat. Let's send them an even worse beanie.
I mean, so they go, here you go, guys. You might be getting a bit chilly. Here are a couple of beanies. They feature amazing embroidery, logos, great stitching and shape. Do they Physio Creme? Are we looking at the same beanie here? Because where I come from, the hell is this shape? It looks like a medieval helmet.
Yeah.
That's not a beanie. Whose head have they modelled this off?
I know.
A beanie is a dome shape. This looks like a medieval helmet shape. I'll put it on.
You put it on.
And it won't look good.
It won't look good. It looks like you wouldn't put it on a kettle.
Look at this.
It looks like a ball cap.
Absolute piece of shit.
It is the worst beanie I've ever seen. So it does't cover ears, which is the most important thing. Is
this
to cover your
worst ad for the creme you've ever seen. Again, guys,
like it looks more like a swimming cap.
Yeah, it's a polar. And then, by the way, outside of like very technical mountaineering gear, I have never seen a beanie made of polar fleece.
No need.
It's not a popular. It's not a beanie material.
I wouldn't even recognise that as a beanie. If you were, if I was asked to describe you now, I wouldn't know what to say is on your head.
I agree.
Exactly.
I agree. It's like a teapot cover without a spout or anything else. It is
the worst. We thought they couldn't go worse with the hat, and they have.
And you actually
Great creme.
You actually look at the. Name a better creme.
I can't.
You actually look at the stitching of the polar fleece. One side's like the outer panels are thin.
Yeah.
Like who sold them the pieces for this and said it's a hemisphere?
Yeah.
Who's done this to them? I'm actually baffled.
Yep.
I know we've had a laugh in the past with Physio Creme, but this is beyond a joke. if you're the person that works, or the person at Physio Creme.
They're taking the piss.
That works in the promotional hat department. Just dig a bit because whoever's buying the hats.
I can't take you seriously.
Put it on. Let's try and be three adults wearing these hats because they are. Oh, they're so bad. They're so bad. We look like The Edge. Is this Bono? Is this? They look ridiculous. Yeah.
It feels like when you go to a massage parlor or something, or they give you temporary pants, or like you go to like a spa and they give you something temporary.
Now that I can see Andy wearing it, absolutely, it's the thing that you wear before you put special effects makeup on. Or something. Like it is. It's a black bald cap.
Yeah, or like you're going into some surgery or something, and they go, "Hey, you need to cover your hair with this."
Yeah, it's a little scrubby. You'll notice not one of these analogies have we ever gone, it looks like a cool beanie you'd wear down the street.
You would never wear this out in public.
No. It's kind of like it's like almost like the LEG fit of that kind of beanie. Like, I don't know what I was going to say. I was like, have a little dig around. Like, let's say it's Ken who's in charge of promo stuff.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, oh, that was weird, that purple hat he made.
Yeah.
Oh, well, everyone has bad days, Ken. You got it wrong.
You got it wrong.
And we accidentally bought 10,000 of those.
Yeah.
We're now rebranding with the beanies. And Ken serves this up. Find out where Ken's getting this done.
Yeah.
Does he know them? Is it a mate? Is it a family member? Is that how they're getting this business? Because it can't be
someone
for
making
the design or fashion side of things.
It can't be someone making an informed decision.
No, there's something else at play. And he's gone too far now, Ken. Or he hates the company and he's trying to bring him down from the inside, and now he's gone too far.
More sense. All right, so they're the hats in play. Let's jump into it. I've got someone in mind for the.
Okay, good.
It's been a while since I've thought
About Stephanie McIntosh.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen them.
Yep, Steph Mac
from Neighbours, then had the first reality show.
Yep. I'm going to throw this up there. Have you used her in the intro before?
Maybe.
I got a feeling like the last time I heard her was in this segment somewhere. Someone called in with her.
Maybe someone's already...
One for someone on the Reddit.
Yeah.
One of our, like someone that goes deep and has a better knowledge. But I think your brain you've got her filed obviously under haven't thought of her for a while.
Yeah, I've gone through it. Rachel, tell us someone we haven't thought of for a while.
The drumming gorilla from the Cadbury ad.
Oh, sorry. I'm really sorry. It's a great one. But well, you even talked about it the other day on the Remembering Project.
Yeah,
though.
unfortunately, this is a really unlucky bounce, but we were recording the Remembering Project the other day, and we were talking about the beginning of that song, In the Air Tonight, by Phil Collins. And of course, as soon as you're thinking about that song...
Yeah.
The gorilla comes to mind.
You're not going to not think about the gorilla.
And the reason we were talking about it was when in our band, Cool Boys and the Frontman, everyone wanted a piece of music where you could show off individually.
Yeah.
And we were discussing how In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins is the perfect song for Hamish because he doesn't have to do anything for the first two verses. And then he comes in really, really heavy.
And you are unquestionably the hero of that song on the drums. That really is what we look for. And when the Cool Boys play again, I mean, that's where all the arguments will center around.
Yep.
You're trying to choose music that...
You're a hero.
Where the other parts are difficult for the other band, so there's plenty to criticise them about.
Yeah.
Difficult, yet don't sound good.
Yeah.
And your bits are easy, yet sound incredible. That's the perfect balance you're looking for in the music. So sorry.
Rachel, thank you very much. Good suggestion. Bill, ahoy to you, Bill.
Ahoy to the SB, JP, and of course, happy birthday, Andy.
Lovely stuff.
Tell us someone we haven't thought of for a while, Bill.
Casey Stoner.
Good one. I haven't thought of Casey Stoner. Here we go. Ando. MotoGP.
I played golf with him.
What did you think about him?
Had to. He was right in front of me.
You might not have.
Just, listen to the show.
Yeah.
Listen to the pod. He was at the Mick Fanning Golf Day for the flood, for the flood affected areas. So earlier in the year, I saw Casey Stoner. Obviously, motorbike races are shorter than you expect.
Yeah, he'd be a great golfer though.
An absolute legend. I'm not sure if you've seen the doco, the Brad Pitt narrated MotoGP doco.
No.
He features.
No, I haven't either.
It's a cracker, and basically they don't follow Casey that much because he's just a no fuss, rock up and win kind of guy, and you need
not
people.
Drama.
Yeah, not enough drama.
Bad for TV, amazing for the sport.
Sorry about that, Bill, but well played. I wish we could have given you one of these terrible beanies, but
no, you wouldn't have. But I mean, if Casey, if he is a listener podcast, it's a huge compliment, and it is the kind of thing. It looks a bit Well, I was going to say, it's like, you have the flame-proof balaclava that goes under the helmet.
Oh, yes. The fire retardant.
The fire retardant.
hood.
But this looks so cheap that it was probably like, it's fire-inducing, fire-encouraging. So you definitely wouldn't wear it under a helmet.
We've got time for one more, I think, Ham. Ahoy to you, Cad.
Ahoy, boys.
Cad, who have you got?
I have got Lil Bow Wow.
Hey, Lil Bow Wow's good.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I haven't thought of
You haven't thought of Lil Bow Wow for a while?
I don't think so.
I don't think I've thought of Lil Bow Wow for a while. Jack?
No, haven't thought of him. Is that Snoop Dogg's nephew?
He was in the dog house, the dog manor.
Yeah, he
Part
was,
of the
wasn't he?
dog's family.
Yeah.
Within the litter. Yep.
And he had that song.
He did have a song.
Bow wow wow.
Yippee-yo,
No,
yippee-yo,
no,
where
that
my
was
dog's at.
Oh,
Bark with me now.
Yeah, I think that was.
that was Lil Bow Wow.
Yeah, I think that was Little Bow Wow. Yep, I think he's got it. Well done.
This is good, Cad. You've got it.
Congratulations. Would you like a terrible beanie?
The last remaining purple physio creme hat, the Savic motorcycles hat, or the bucket hat.
Oh, look, I'd have to take Haim's advice. I'm about to be a dad soon, so I think I need that sort of dad advice. Would it be the hat, the motorcycle hat, Haim?
Yeah, cool dad.
That's a cool
very
dad.
cool
Yeah,
dad.
yeah.
It is a small to medium. You're happy with that as a flex fit?
Oh, I've got a pretty big head.
Oh, danger.
Well, you won't fit this beanie.
Your child, your baby might like the beanie.
Yeah.
Let's go the motorcycle hat. I'll commit.
Yeah, fair enough. What's this beanie? Smart man.
Smart man.
All right, Haim, time for Tell Us Someone We Haven't Thought Of for a while.
Hardest time of the year to do it. Last show of the year. We've had all year to think.
Yes.
But to be fair, I haven't thought of anyone since June. Just to clear my mind, to give maximum chances for winning hats today.
For those playing along, big news. For the first time ever, and the first ever Must Be Nice hat is available. Ooh. It's actually the only one available because, as you would have known, we're encouraging people to give a screenshot this Christmas because they can only arrive in January.
Give a screenshot now, get a hat then.
Lay it there. So, like tickets to a great concert, fun to know you've got it on its way. That's one of the hats available. Second available is the worst beanie we've ever seen in our lives.
Oh.
You might be familiar with this. Physio creme. Put it on your head and have no friends.
Absolute friend repellent.
Haim, get into golf hat.
Too late.
Which I don't, which has been sent in. I'm not sure if anyone would be encouraged if they saw someone wearing that to get into golf.
Yeah,
it's bright green.
From what I gather, the way that you signal that you're a cool golf person is to have 11 hats,
Yes.
All from the same golf company, not a hat that encourages others to get into golf, because it sort of makes it feel like you're not sure either.
Yes. And finally, a bucket hat. It's got fried chicken on it called Cooked to Perfection. These are
Very reminiscent of a whole lot of chickens, to be honest.
Yes. These are the 4 hats available. Good luck if you win. You get to choose one of them.
It will be a huge slap in the face if you don't pick the Must Be Nice hat. But I'll rate it.
Has anyone got a Tell Us Someone You Haven't Thought Us for a while? Hit your call bell and we're away. Yes. There we go. Okay. What's your name?
Sana.
Good luck.
Tell us someone we haven't thought of for a while.
Soldier Boy.
Who's Soldier Boy?
You're out.
Do you know who Soldier Boy is?
Singer.
Singer.
Is it Superman, that lady?
Can you give us a few bars?
Oh. It's like Soldier Boy, tell him, oh, when we crank that, when we roll. I
Yeah.
don't think that's right.
No, that's-
but
yeah.
There's a dance. There's a...
Not that I've seen.
Look, I mean, I wouldn't.
I'm out because I've never heard of the song or the boy.
I'm familiar with the young man in question. Never thought of him really as an artist. You just hear the song and you're aware of the song. So yeah, I haven't thought of the song this year. I guess that's a win.
Xana, well done.
Xana.
Now, what hat would you like to pick? You've got the Physio Creme beanie.
Have to be the new merch. Must be nice.
Must be very nice.
Wow,
There you go.
weird
Well
to
done.
see it not in a screenshot format.
Okay, anyone else got someone?
Oh, here we go.
Hello.
Straight across
What's your
the
name,
aisle.
sir?
Daniel.
Daniel, tell us someone we haven't thought of for a while.
Tanya Zaida from Who Dares Win.
Bad luck. Think of her regularly.
Pretty hard to not think of someone you got a poster of in your bedroom.
No, the unfortunate thing for you is Tanya Zaida, when Hamish and I went to Afghanistan to do the show for the troops, she was on that trip.
The one previously.
Yes. And so anytime that I think about that trip, her name comes up as well.
Yeah. So, but we thank her for being part of the segment.
All right. Anyone else got to tell us someone? All right at the back of the plane. She must have booked late. I've
You've
dropped the bell.
Ando. That's the most famous
your
part
name?
of the show.
Kath.
Appreciate that.
Kath, tell us someone we haven't thought of for a while.
Dame Edna.
Oh, it was a trivia question yesterday. I was playing trivia with my family, and it came up what marsupial is used in her greeting. Hello, possums. Got it.
Oh, no.
So really bad luck, but yeah, I was pretty bored yesterday, and she was part of trivia.
Oh, damn.
So sorry.
That's very recent. You've thought of her.
Yeah,
like
that's
yesterday.
Hours old.
24 hours?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's only probably about 15 people I thought of, and she's in there. So sorry.
Bad luck. No physio creme beanie for you.
Lost
Anyone
Touch
else? We got
t-shirt.
time for one more. Last one, Ham.
Okay.
Back here.
Physio creme beanie still up for
tell
grabs.
us someone we haven't thought of for a while.
Mr. Bean.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, quite often think of Mr. Bean. My
Doctors,
kids,
dentist, yeah,
my kids got into Mr. Bean this year.
And if you ever watch Afterlife, which is Ricky Gervais, he's got a famous scene where they invite people to a party and his co-worker invites Mr. Bean and he says, so you get the actor Rowan Atkinson to have to be in character for the entire dinner.
Yeah.
So sorry, thought about him heaps.
And also another bad one, anytime my wife and I do French accents, I know this is an obscure one, but we'll say two things, James Bond, and, Mr. Bean, because during the London 2012 opening ceremony, my wife and I were in France and we had to watch it on French television. And the only thing they said in English was when James Bond got out of the car, they were like, blah, 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 James Bond, and then Mr. Bean. So that's the two bits of the opening. Yeah, you can't, and you're not, and I applaud you not arguing.
The beanie remains ungiven out. And
unbelievable. I can't
I'm gonna
believe
put
we
in
have to take that back
a
to our
sound
office.
effect of a bell.
Thank you.